Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And we just saw the Knicks lose to the Philadelphia 76ers in the same exact fashion that they lost just a week ago. Let's go ahead and break this down, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this going. The Knicks face the Philadelphia 76ers tonight at Madison Square Garden. And they started off the same way they did just a week ago. As you see, Ben Simmons gets the first 2 points of the game, going to the basket. That was the guy I said we needed to make him a scorer if we wanted to have a chance to win this game. The Knicks, they tried to play ball. You see Marcus Morris knock down a three, and actually Frank Ntilikina knocks down a three right here. Not something that he usually does, but he knocks down a three. Frank Ntilikina played okay, but Marcus Morris was hitting tonight. He was playing well tonight. You see Marcus Morris, Knicks up 7-2. Marcus Morris knocks down another three. Marcus Morris on the night was 75% from the three-point line. The Knicks up 10-2 at this point. Going on a run, or been on a run, as Ben Simmons finds my man Korkmaz open for a dunk. RJ Barrett banks the three off the backboard. I'll take it. It don't matter to me. I'll take that. Knicks up 13-4. Julius Randle swings it to Frank Ntilikina. Frank swings it to Marcus Morris. Morris swings it to RJ Barrett, and RJ Barrett finds Taj Gibson under the basket for a dunk. That's ball movement, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks up 15-4. They're up 11. It's looking like it did the first game. Joel Embiid knocks down a mid-range jump shot over Taj Gibson to make it 15-6. But the Knicks, they're still ready. They came out ready to play. Julius Randle goes down the lane and throws one down. Something we don't see often from Julius Randle. Or maybe we're seeing it more often. I don't know. But then there you go. Ben Simmons again distributing. Or Ben Simmons getting the distribution for the dunk. Excuse my French there. And then there you go with the steal. The Knicks, RJ Barrett dunks one home as the Knicks are up 21-9. The first quarter, they're up 23-9 in the first quarter. They take a 14-point lead. But Philadelphia, they have a good defense. They're a confident bunch. Trey Burke, he knocks down the three. Then here you go. Frank Ntilikina, he steps back. He knocks down the three as the Knicks are up 26-12. Or 25-12. It's a 13-point lead for the Knicks. The Knicks went up by as many as 17, but they couldn't hold the lead. You know the story. Joel Embiid battles his way back up for an offensive rebound. Puts it in. Joel Embiid had 27 points and 17 rebounds on the night. RJ Barrett, he gets the and one. RJ Barrett played well. Even down the stretch, RJ Barrett played well. He had 18 points on the night. 8 for 13 from the field this evening. Dennis Smith Jr. goes to the cup. Dennis Smith Jr. played 14 minutes. He had 3 points and 3 rebounds and 2 assists. It's his defense that gets him on the bench, ladies and gentlemen. Taj Gibson goes to the basket. Taj Gibson had 4 points and 2 rebounds in 17 minutes. But Mitchell Robinson played well, especially defensively. That's why he spent a lot of time on the floor. As you see, James Ennis go to the basket. And James Ennis was an Achilles heel of the Knicks tonight. There's always somebody. There's always an X factor that beats the Knicks as Tobias Harris knocks down mid-range jump shot. It's 36-27 Knicks as Philadelphia climbs back into the game. Again, Harris, bang, nice little mid-range jump shot. The Knicks up 38-29. Damian Dotson says, okay, let me get one. He pulls it up from deep and knocks it down. Damian Dotson on the night, he had 10 points, 3 for 8 from the field. Again, Tobias Harris to the cup. Tobias Harris tonight, he had 19 points, 9 for 16 from the field. See Julius Randle takes the ball to the cup with a running hook shot, puts it in. Julius Randle didn't play bad tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He had 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. But you see, Ben Simmons, you can't let that guy distribute. The problem is he can distribute from anywhere. As he finds Joel Embiid for the lay-in, he gets fouled. It's 43-35. Knicks are up. 4 minutes left in the second quarter as Mook Morris hits the step-back fadeaway jump shot in the lane. Put the Knicks up by 12. Now the Knicks are up by 14, 51-37. As the 76ers power forward, Furkan Korkmaz goes to the lane and lays it in. And now in the third quarter, you see Tobias Harris. He takes it upon himself, goes to the basket. He gets the deuce to cut the Knicks lead. And the Knicks lead got cut pretty quick in this third quarter. It's 53-46 now. Now it's 55-46. The Knicks kept fighting, kept trying to keep their lead as Frank Ntilikina knocked down a little mid-range shot. But then you see Ben Simmons comes in, the backward scoop, lay in, whatever you want to call it, to make it 56-50. And then Ben Simmons gets the steal. He averages 2.3 steals a game, and he dunks it home to make it 56-52. And there you go. Damian Dotson, he goes into the lane. He finds Julius Randle, knocks down the three. The Knicks are trying to fight and scrape and keep this lead. It's 59-54. Frank Ntilikina, he goes to the cup. He scoops it in with a little floater shot, whatever it was. He had 13 points on the night, 4 assists. But Philadelphia is just too much, ladies and gentlemen. Tobias Harris, he knocks down a little mid-range floater or step-back jump shot floater, whatever you want to call it. The ball movement is looking good, and it knocks down the three. 66-67. Damian Dotson launches up a brick, but Bobby Portis gets the rebound and puts it back in, make it 68-67. James Ennis knocks down another three to make it 70-68. There's always an Achilles heel. James Ennis had 20 points on the night. Damian Dotson steps back, knocks down the jump shot. 70-70. And it looks like it's going to be a tight fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Not looks like, it was a tight fourth quarter. But once again, the Knicks had a 16, 17-point lead, and they let Philadelphia back into the game. They just don't have what it takes to bring it home. Trey Burke swings the ball, and then there you go. Ennis in the corner once again. There's always an X factor that beats the Knicks. Philadelphia up 5. Mook Morris dribbling, boom. He goes to the basket, little floating fadeaway jump shot to make it 75-74. The Knicks trying to scrape their way back into this game. Or 75-72, I'm sorry. Joel Embiid makes it 77-72. The Knicks trying to scrape their way and find their way back into this game. It's now 77-73 as the Knicks hit a free throw. Trey Burke, the former Knick, he knocks down a mid-range jump shot to make it 79-73. Frank Ntilikina finds R.J. Barrett off the inbounds play for a layup to make it 79-75, and the Knicks are still fighting to stay in this game. And R.J. Barrett, he starts to take over a little bit. He goes to the basket with the left-hand scoop. Of course, he's left-handed. Well, he's right-handed and left-handed, whatever you want to call him. But Philadelphia just has too much as Tobias Harris knocks down another mid-range jump shot. It's 81-77 Philadelphia at this point. 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Frank Ntilikina gets the screen, lays it up there for Mitch Robinson. And the Knicks are right back in it. It's 81-79. The Knicks, well, they're always in it. They're not going anywhere. To the lane once more. R.J. Barrett scoops it in to make it 87-87. 2 minutes left in the game. 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Joel Embiid, he goes up and gets fouled by Mitchell Robinson. It's now 90-87 as he makes the free throw. R.J. Barrett, top of the key. He goes to the cup, takes Joel Embiid and lays it in to make it 90-89. R.J. Barrett's trying his best to pull his game out for the Knicks. Joel Embiid gets double-teamed, but he gets fouled. It's 92-89. And then Tobias Harris goes to the cup. So many scorers from the Philadelphia 76ers. It's 94-89 with 119 left. And it's looking like it's not going to happen for the Knicks. Well, you know it doesn't happen because you're seeing the game. See Julius Randle go to the cup. He lays it in to make it 96-89. And the Knicks continue to battle. Frank Ntilikina goes to the basket. He lays it in. You want to see Frank Ntilikina turn the Jets on like that a little bit more often. Frank Ntilikina finds Wayne Ellington wide open, and he shoots an air ball. And that's basically the game for the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, right there. That was basically it. You know, you come down the stretch, Julius Randle, he spins, he goes to the basket. He gets fouled, but it's all for naught. It's too little, too late. He misses the free throw. He missed the free throw on purpose, though, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like he missed it just to miss. just because he can't make free throws. He does have a problem. The whole team has a problem making free throws, but he missed a free throw on purpose. The ball caromed out of bounds. It was Philadelphia's ball, and that was pretty much the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks drop another one to a contending team at a time when they had a 17-point lead. And this team really has a problem holding on to leads. They have a problem closing out games, and it's a struggle for the New York Knicks. They lost their 5th straight. 5 straight games. 5, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? The schedule doesn't get any easier. As a matter of fact, it gets tougher. Doesn't get any easier. Don't know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're looking at me for answers, you're looking to the wrong person, because I don't have them. Sorry to tell you. I wish that I did. Let's break down a little bit more of this game before we start talking to our guests. The Knicks' biggest lead was 16, so not 17. The biggest lead was 16. Philadelphia 76ers' biggest lead was 7. The game was tied 3 times. The longest run was 10, and there were 4 lead changes in this game. The Knicks got out-rebounded 46-37. Of course, Joel Embiid had 17 of those rebounds. He was killing the boards tonight. The Knicks only had 14 assists. 76ers had 22. The last game they played, the 76ers had 30, and the Knicks had 14. You're not going to win games with only 14 assists. I'm sorry. I know we built the lead and all of that good stuff, but a lot of it was still based on one-on-one play. We saw some good ball movement, but a lot of it was based on one-on-one play. The Knicks had 5 steals. 76ers had 5 steals. Knicks only had 4 blocks. 76ers 10 blocks, and the Knicks had 14 turnovers to match their 14 assists. 76ers had 16 turnovers. On the evening, the Knicks shot 43.6% from the field, 40% from 3. A lot of that is Marcus Morris. A couple other guys knocked down some threes, though. The Knicks shot 57.6% from their free throw line. And that obviously killed us, ladies and gentlemen. It obviously killed us. The Knicks were 19 for 33. 19 for 33. They missed 14 free throws. 14 free throws. You're not going to win games that way. Just not going to do it. They held Philadelphia to 26.9% shooting from the three-point line. They held them to 43.1% shooting from the field. Now, the Knicks only shot 43.6% from the field, but still, you held them. Philadelphia made 80% of their free throws. They were 32 for 40. The Knicks, 19 for 33. They missed 14 free throws. Say what you want. That's a big reason why they lost this game. That's a big reason why they lost 5 straight free throws, ladies and gentlemen. They're free. You have no defender in front of you. None. These guys play basketball for a living. This is what they do day in and day out. All they got to do is get up in the morning, kiss their wife if they have a wife, their girlfriend, talk to their kids, and then go to the basketball gym and shoot free throws. That's all they got to do. It's their job. They can't hit free throws. I don't know. I can't explain it. Let's take a look at these box scores real quick. And then maybe somebody can explain it to me why the New York Knicks cannot make free throws. Tobias Harris had 19 points and 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He also had 4 turnovers. Furkan Korkmaz, who was starting instead of Al Horford, because Al Horford was, taking a rest day. He had 9 points and 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Joel Embiid, he had 27 points, 17 rebounds, 2 assists. He also had about 3 turnovers. Ben Simmons, he played shooting guard tonight. At least that's what he's listed as. But, he's always going to be the guy facilitating the ball. He had 15 points and 8 assists. Also had 4 turnovers. Thibault, he started at point guard tonight. He had 0 points and 2 assists. Norvel Pelle, He scored his first NBA points against the Knicks. He had 3 points. Trey Burke, he had 5 points. But the X factor tonight was not Mike Scott. Mike Scott was the last game. The X factor tonight was James Ennis. James Ennis had 20 points and 4 rebounds. There's always an X factor that beats the Knicks. There's always some guy that comes out of nowhere and beats the Knicks. The Knicks on the night, Marcus Morris, he had 20 points, 7 rebounds. He had no assists. Julius Randle had 22 points. He also had 10 rebounds and 4 assists, but he also had 4 turnovers. He had 1 steal on the night. Taj Gibson, 17 minutes. He had 4 points, 2 rebounds. R.J. Barrett, he played 28 minutes. He had 18 points. He was 8 for 13 from the field, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers as well. Frank Ntilikina, he played 37 minutes. He had 13 points, shot 42.9% from the field. He was 1 for 2 from the three-point line for 50%. He also had 2 rebounds and 4 assists, along with 2 turnovers and 1 steal. Mitchell Robinson played 29 minutes. He played well defensively. I thought he played well defensively. Yeah, he got some fouls, and he fouled out. But I thought he played okay defensively. His length bothered Joel Embiid, in my opinion. All right, Mitchell Robinson played 29 minutes. He had 3 points, 7 rebounds. Dennis Smith Jr. only played 14 minutes. He had 3 points. Bobby Portis played 12 minutes. He had 2 points. Wayne Ellington played 12 minutes. He didn't do anything. Damian Dotson played 19 minutes. He had 10 points. Ignaz, Kevin Knox, and Alonzo Trier did not play. And it was only a matter of time before Kevin Knox was going to be in the doghouse and not play. Whether or not you agree, I'm not sure if I agree with it, to be honest with you. But I do understand it, right? Because his defense is terrible, but there's other guys that play their defense is just as bad. And they're still getting burned. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know, but Kevin Knox got no playing time tonight, and we'll see how long this lasts. All right, we'll see how long this lasts, and we'll see how this goes. Anyway, the Knicks take another loss. They lose to the Philadelphia 76ers. They've lost 5 straight. They're now 4-15 on the season, and the schedule gets tougher. The schedule gets tougher, ladies and gentlemen, because the next team that they play are the Boston Celtics. And the Boston Celtics are very, very good. And I know this is going to be the 3rd time that we played them this season. The 3rd time that we've played the Boston Celtics. All right. The first time, it was a close game. No, I'm sorry. The first time it was a blowout, not a close game. The second time it was a close game. The first time we played them, it was a blowout. We got smacked. Second time we came back and we played them to the tilt. We'll see what happens this time. But I feel like this time, the Knicks' confidence level, their confidence level isn't the same, in my opinion. It's not the same as it was when they, played them the second time around. The Knicks play the Boston Celtics next, and after the Boston Celtics, they play the Milwaukee Bucks, then the Nuggets, then the Pacers. All right, so these next 4 games, it doesn't get any easier. All of these teams right here, except for the Pacers, I consider Milwaukee a contender. I consider Boston a contender. And I consider the Denver Nuggets a contender. Some people may disagree with me, but I consider the Denver Nuggets a contender. Watch out for those guys, man. Those guys are very underrated. A lot of people sleep on them. But I think they're a very good team. Very good team. They're 13-3. 2nd in the Western Conference. I consider these guys a contender, and they just might be there in the Western Conference Finals. You look at the teams that the Knicks play coming up next, the Boston Celtics, they're 13-5. The Milwaukee Bucks, they lead the Eastern Conference. They're 16-3. The Indiana Pacers, they're 12-6. I don't know if I consider the Pacers contenders, but they're 12-6. And then the Denver Nuggets, of course, like I just said, they're 13-3. I don't know, man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. ring that notification bell. You'll be notified whenever I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. And make sure you join me on all of my social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Sportscaster, Discord. And I'll make sure I put the links in the YouTube chat for you so that you can click on those things and follow me there. Let me get to the guys in the video chat, talk a little bit. I'm also going to take some phone calls so we can talk about this game. While it was an enjoyable game, and you can't always say that about these Knicks, it was definitely enjoyable to watch. It's always enjoyable when the Knicks are in the game and have a chance to win. So while it was enjoyable, obviously we didn't win. We didn't have what it takes to pull out a win. What's new? What's new? Nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Nothing new under the sun. Guillermo?
Man.
What's good, brother? How you feeling, man? What's up?
Watching that game, man, it's tough, man. Like, you saw the great things that the Knicks could do, man. When that ball was moving around, it's like, damn, man, they look so good. Things make sense. Whenever they try to go too much ISO, you saw guys like DSJ lose the ball. You know what I mean? It's like they have certain foundational things that you say, yes, keep doing this. This is what you need to do, and you need to trust this. But then it's like, you know what I mean? You got guys like,
But they revert backwards. They revert backwards. They do some good things, but they can't sustain it.
And like defensively, I'm nitpicking, right? But there's a pattern, right? When we do play good defense, but we get beat, the guys who usually beat us are guys who are 3-point shooters, right? Tonight it was that guy. I don't know what's his name. It's like Jerome from Martin. What's his name?
James Ennis.
James Ennis. James Ennis killed us tonight. Then the other night it was Scott. Was it
Mike Scott, the guy?
Mike Scott, thank you.
The guy who got into a fight with all the Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Right. What that idiot? Why would you even? Anyway, it's like stupid. Why? If this was the '90s, he would have gotten hurt. But anyway,
yeah, he would have.
Please, if you're a fan, don't go to places like Philly, and please don't do it. I'm a Jets fan, but I just don't do it. Anyway, it's like, you know, when they collapse, I maybe have to go back. Maybe they collapse on Embiid too early in the shot clock. You know what I mean? Maybe you try to get him as, you know, shot clock's around 10. You know, stop him there. So then, you know, it's disadvantage to try to get the ball around, or maybe it's tougher. Things like that defensively. It's like we let those guys, you know, Embiid, and look, Embiid has, you know, all-star level talent. So it's kind of tough to say, to nitpick here and there. But again, some of the pity pat fouls, you know, the refs had a quick whistle tonight. So any small touch, any bump, you know what I mean? It's tough defensively because, I mean, it's tough. They played it right. They played it right. Hey, pass out the double team and get to 3-point shooting. They made us pay with that. Offensively, again, man, I'm just kind of sick of this ISO stuff when it comes to crunch time. I will say some positives. You know, Randall tonight was better in terms of quick decisions. He did have a few turnovers that were just those stupid, clumsy turnovers. He really needs to work on his body balance because he has no. Maybe he's too top heavy.
I will say this:
too many times
turnovers,
he's dribbling and he's like almost falling to the ground because he has
because he's going
no
too
balance.
fast for himself. See, like you see this with a lot of high school kids sometimes, where they're going so fast. Like I don't know if I want to say it's skill level, but they're going so fast they just can't control their body. And he does that a lot of times. He admitted it at halftime. They interviewed him. The Knicks were up 13. And he's like, you know, 3 of my turnovers is because I was going too fast. You know, he does see Randall it. And he does. He's going too fast for himself sometimes.
He doesn't need, but he's not the type of guy that we need him going too fast, trying to think and be a playmaker. In terms of you trying to make plays for it, we just need you to execute. Go straight to the basket. If it's cut off, you pass out. Or if you have the shot, you feeling it, and you think you can hit the perimeter shot or the three, hit that perimeter shot. We don't need you to think too much, bro. Just because the offense doesn't dictate for you to do that. So literally, just not sit there, but act and react. We don't need you to do anything special. And if you can, I don't know if you need to do yoga or calisthenics, whatever, plyometrics, whatever the hell you need to do. You need more body balance because you're too top heavy and you're falling all over the place at times. That just looks bad. But I'll give him the benefit. I'll give him some positives. I did think he looked good tonight when he used quick decisions. I like what I saw from him. Ellington, I don't want to be too nitpicky on that three, but damn, I wish that was Dotson instead. But again, we don't even get the call. He did get hit in the hand, but it is what it is. But offensively, too many times you get bogged down. And that turnover, Sim, if I can't stress enough how bad our coaching is, how many times do we look either limp or we get a turnover or something stupid happens out of dead balls, man? How many times like that situation, you literally just have one guy set the pick because literally the Sixers, if they want to play it safe, we have to score in them, right? So they're gonna allow you to get the ball, right? But doing that handoff thing when the defenders are right there out of
Oh
bounds,
gosh,
it
I
is a
hate that
stupid. And you
handoff.
know, Ben Simmons, he plays good defense. Why not have a guy set a pick for him, allow RJ Barrett to catch it out with some space, and then initiate an offense or whatever the hell you want to do? Too many times I'm seeing this guy Fizzo come out of dead balls, and he has no plan. Whether it's the final shot, whether it's crunch situations like this, whether it's Randall sending a pick to draw a foul, an offensive foul. It's like we look very. It's like just stupid when it comes to these dead balls. So I don't want to nitpick too much because I didn't think that the Knicks looked so disastrous tonight.
We didn't.
But
We didn't
we
look disastrous.
we we didn't
But
look
we
we didn't look disastrous. Look, we lost a lead. I mean, we're playing against the Sixers, who are probably Eastern Conference contender. But it just sucks because this was a winnable game. I know we always have a lead, so we're always just gonna have a lead, but a double-digit lead. But tonight, I can't nitpick too much, especially on defensive end, because they played it the right way, especially passing out the double teams. The refs were a little nitpicky on the fouls, but when you see if the refs are doing that, you got to instruct your team to play smart. Hey, instead of slowing down the game for them, and look, if they're gonna try to make a wild layup, let them try to make the wild layup. Just give them the space, let them absorb the blow. Don't try to hit back because they're calling everything on us. So it's little things like that. I mean, I guess better coaches would do a better job in instructing the players and getting the players to play better. But especially the first half, I saw Fizdale. I saw some of the things that we've been talking about in the chat. I saw Fizdale, or at least the players, implement that a little bit better. They hustled on defense, saw guys getting back when they double team and stuff on the perimeter.
I mean, they were making second and third
yeah.
efforts on the defensive end. I got to give them that. They were making those second and third efforts on the defensive end. You heard Mike Green talking about it. My biggest complaint is those times they cannot go the entire game and just play good basketball. There has to be those times. And here's the thing. This is the thing. You're going to look at the shot distribution. And you'll say, well, Marcus Morris only took 12 shots. Julius Randle only took 13. Right? But it's when. It's when they do it that matters the most. You know what I'm saying? And Fizdale has to get control of that part of it, in my opinion, and help these guys understand. And I know Mark wants to defend Fizdale. You know what I'm saying? I see him shaking his head, and he put something in the chat earlier. Even Mike Breen said that, Coach Fizdale is holding these guys accountable, and da-da-da-da-da. But it's about who he holds accountable. It's not always because you see Kevin Knox played no minutes. None. 0 minutes. Mainly because of his defense. And there's other guys.
If you're not gonna play Kevin Knox like that, then you got to do the same thing when Randall's messing up, when Morris is messing up. Because
that's my point.
What I realize that he likes to do, man. I agree with sitting Knox because he's been bad defensively, but he picks on the young guys who are not veteran, who these highly paid veterans or veterans period. He picks on these guys, on those younger guys, man. But when it comes to Morris, when it comes to Randall, and I'm not saying Randall this game per se, but when it comes to those guys in other games, man, they've been costing us games that we should have had. And he don't do nothing to them. So I don't like that, man. You picking on the youngest because you're trying to be friends with these guys. Are you scared to talk to veterans? Yeah. No. Talk to the veterans the same so you have a team that respects you. Forget if they like you in terms of, hey, we're going to be buddies after this. If they respect you and want to play for you, that's all that matters. That's all that matters, man.
Yeah. I'm going to leave you live. And I'm going to get Mark up here. Go ahead, Mark.
Man,
what you want to say, man?
All I saw was Ben Simmons bust up the Knicks offense tonight. He just wanted Flago defensively the second half, and that's what I saw. He took the perimeter away from the Knicks, and that's the Knicks' game is mostly the perimeter, not the inside. Ben Simmons bust us up defensively, man.
I don't know.
That's what I saw tonight.
I don't know. He was all right.
Nah,
I'm not gonna say he busted it up. In key areas, maybe he did.
He made us go into ISO. If you watch him, he made us go into ISO. he stopped the whole perimeter, bro. I watched him. He just turned it up defensively. That's what Philly does when they want to, because Philly was giving us this game, and they just turned it up defensively. And Ben Simmons was just.
I would much rather say it was the whole team because they have the number 2 defense in the league. Bro. It wasn't just Ben Simmons, bro.
He started off defensively, bro. And he made the Knicks
saying, but it wasn't just Ben Simmons. It's their entire team. It wasn't just Ben Simmons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he was the leader of
I agree with Mark, though. Ben Simmons set the tone defensively.
He does. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but he didn't do it by himself.
No,
that's just that's an exaggeration. That's a marked exaggeration to me. He didn't do it by himself.
He doesn't have a half-court game. He feeds off the fast breaks. He feeds off the turnovers. He feeds off the long shots. And I think we fed into that. Again, when we had that lead, Sim, we fell into the ISO, taking these long shots, and that's what he loves, getting the ball out in space and operating.
Right. I mean, but I'm saying we fell into the ISO, but it wasn't all Ben Simmons that forced us to go into the ISO.
Because they took away.
It wasn't all Ben Simmons, but go ahead. It wasn't all Ben Simmons that forced us to an ISO because he can't guard all 5 players.
Bro,
but go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
LeBron on the perimeter like a lot, like just waiting there. He's busting up the defense.
Okay, go ahead. Go on to something else. Go on to another reason why we lost because that's not just the only reason.
The Knicks couldn't score.
Yeah, but it's also our offense. We bogged down into
ISO.
Like
we bogged it down ourselves.
It's amazing how
Ben
much
Simmons had a lot to do with it.
When we get into any type of diversity, when we lose a lead, we go away from the principles that literally got us the lead. I've seen it those 2 games, this one and before the Toronto game. We literally stop. And you talk about sitting guys down. You need to sit down Morris when he starts trying to go ISO and force these mid ranges where he's not open or he didn't create enough space and he's trying to lean into guys. It just it's terrible. And he needs to sit these guys down because we go away from moving the ball around.
And let me tell you something.
No, but we move the ball enough on the perimeter, and we dribble drive enough that we can create enough space. The pick and roll, we go away from that for some reason, and we just start going ISO, and then we look at the clock at 6 seconds left, and we're shooting long threes, man. Like we can talk about Ben Simmons. I agree with you, Mark, that Ben Simmons
he's a great defender.
But we fed into it.
I watched the same game. I watched the same game. Listen, but all I'm saying is this, Mark. I'm not disagreeing with you that he's not a good player and a good defensive player, but he didn't do it by himself. Most of the time, we bog ourselves down because he can only defend one player. He can only defend. Hold up. He can only defend one player. If he's locking you up, give the ball to somebody else. Move the ball to somebody else. Get the ball to the opposite side of the floor where he is not. That's what we didn't do. He can only defend one player at a time. So whoever he's defending, if he's locking him up, put that player in the corner and get action on the other side of the floor where he's away from the ball. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you a question. When you see the Knicks on defense, none of our players can get separation. We're so slow. We cannot get no separation. None.
If that's the case, Mark, why do we go away from pick and roll that creates space for our guards and our 2 guards and our 1 guard?
Because if you go
look
from the first to the second half, Ben Simmons came out and started the defense and busted up the perimeter. It made the Knicks timid. Go watch. It made them timid from doing what they was doing in the first half.
So the only person that can run screen and roll is the person that Ben Simmons is guarding?
Bro, you telling me one player cannot control the game? Are you telling me?
What Simmons trying to say is that we should have
ran the pick and roll. You don't listen to nothing else. Never mind this.
All right.
Because you can run stuff. You can run stuff without the person that Ben Simmons is guarding.
We don't have
a point guard who can run pick and roll. You just saw Frank give. Hold on.
Does he consistently, Guamo?
Yeah, we don't run the pick and roll enough. The only time we run the pick and roll is when a DSJ has to call, and he did it tonight. He has to call
because a player has to be
Mitchell Robinson to come and set the pick. It is not in our DNA to initially run the pick and roll to create space, even if it doesn't materialize in some. Maybe you might get an advantageous switch. Maybe guys, we do not this offense. It gets stagnant. If I have to call a guy for the pick and roll when he sees I'm in trouble, and they know DSJ, I don't know if he's healthy. He doesn't look healthy. Something's up with him.
He's scared.
But you know he's not fully healthy, or maybe he's scared. But if that's the case, we should have in our head our DNA. As soon as we're coming down the court, you set that pick and roll. I don't care how many picks you set for him. You, Mitch, you, Randall, even more. Set the picks for this guy and create space. So at least there might be a disadvantage. There might be a mismatch somewhere as we're moving around, as you're driving around. Even if you're not going to drive an initial pick and roll, but we don't do it. It's like foreign to this offense to keep
Frank
running
is
it.
not a pick and roll guard.
How is Frank not a pick and roll guard?
You know, I disagree because he can run this.
Just listen to what I'm saying. If you've been watching Frank is more of a setup point guard. He does not run pick and rolls consistently. He hasn't been doing it since he entered the league. This is a fact. He goes away from it from time to time.
He was running with KP. What are you talking about? He's running pick and pop and pick and roll with KP.
No.
They don't run. The reason why Frank looks bad is because they want Frank to be an ISO guard. When you create plays for Frank, when you create a system for Frank, he looks good. We don't run a pick and roll. When he ran the pick and roll with Mitch tonight, he gave that beautiful alley-oop to. He could have ran that the whole night if they let him.
God.
They don't. They don't.
Bro. I watched Frank this whole offseason when he played for FIBA. He did not run enough pick and rolls because
that's their style of basketball. They don't do it there. Frank Ntilikina, they don't do it like they do it in the NBA. They play a different style of basketball. He's not asked to run the screen and roll that way. But he did run some screen and roll with what's it called, the French dude over there from Utah. He ran some screen and roll with him.
Okay,
they don't do it as much as they do it in the NBA. But Frank Ntilikina is the kind of guy that's going to take the call from the coach. He's going to take the call from the coach. He's going to take the call from the coach and make those calls. And the coach is not calling the screen and roll. He's not going to call the screen and roll. Right? You're going to see him call fourth down a lot. He calls fourth down. You know Julius Randle's getting the ball in the post. But Frank Ntilikina does come off the screen and roll a lot. And a lot of times when he comes off the screen and roll, he swings the ball over to the other side of the floor. He's not always hitting the roller. The roller's not always there. If you watch, a lot of times he hits Taj Gibson on a pick and pop. He hits him there. He can't hit Mitchell Robinson on a pick and pop. So if the lob isn't there, he gets the ball out to the other side of the floor. A screen and roll is not always going to end up in a lob to the basket. It's not always going to end up there. Sometimes it's going to end up being swung to the other side of the floor.
Exactly.
So let me ask you a question.
Just fundamentally, we don't have it, man. Because even when sorry to cut you off, Mark. When you see Randall, when you see these other guys, they don't even set picks correctly. We have a team that they literally tonight. I saw Julius Randle set a pick, and then he did a pick to literally just turn into a post instead. But he had the lane to literally set the pick and go to the basket. Like we do not have we are not fundamentally sound in terms of what we want our offense to be. We bog down into ISO post, ISO beat your man to the basket. When it doesn't, like Sim said, I've seen it so many times with Frank, even sometimes DSJ, where if the pick and roll is not there, you create space and then you could dribble after that. Something might happen where now you have to. We just don't have it. I don't know how to explain it. We just fundamentally aren't sound. The only guys setting picks correctly is Taj and Mitchell Robinson. Other than that, you have a bunch of big men, Portis and Randall, even more. So they set picks, and they're weak picks to literally just turn around and ask for the post. That's it. They don't set picks to keep going down. And maybe if they go down, they flush it out. Now you have a proper ISO where now you have it. So now you can drive on one side. There's no one else left on your side. You can possibly take your man. You possibly pass somebody cutting to the middle. We don't do any of that. But other teams do that. Other teams, I've seen other teams do that on us.
Number one, Frank ain't even an aggressive offensive player to consistently run the pick and roll. Teams don't respect him.
Well, let me say this.
I watch this all the time.
Okay, so let's put it here too tonight. Then let's look at it tonight. You say he's not aggressive enough. So what's aggressive to you? What is aggressive to you?
He's not playing with the force at the guard spot that he needs to put the defense on the other side. To make the defense collapse, bro. He does not play with force all the time.
He doesn't. He doesn't play with force all the time. But you know what,
Mark? So why don't you have an offense that suits him? Like we had when I'm not praising Hornacek.
Like
when Hornacek was here, there was a lot more movement that made Frank effective.
It kills me. You act like the Knicks is full of gunslingers that can make and take shots. Seriously.
But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying, you still have to design your offense around the players that you have,
bro,
to make it work for them.
Can I kill your whole point right now? Can I kill your whole point?
Hold on. Mike Breen said it perfectly fine. We don't have a player that can create at the end of the games for us. Period. That's period. Simple as that.
That's true. That's
Simple as
100%
That's
that.
true. Okay.
Simple as that.
So you expect that to be
that
Frank?
type of player to do that.
So
Mark,
you
hold on,
expect that to be Frank Ntilikina?
Mark, we talked about this last stream, right? Or not the last stream, right? We talked about this with the Suns, right? Not Alvin Gentry. Who the hell is this? The coach for the damn Suns, right? Monty Williams. Thank you. They just got Ricky Rubio, who you could basically say is the same way in terms of offensively Frank, that he's scared to shoot. And yet that Suns offense, before Rubio got hurt, he had that Suns offense humming. Why? Why is that so? What do they run on that Suns offense that you see a lot more this year than you saw last year?
So let me tell you the difference between him and Rubio.
A lot more pick and roll, a lot more movement that makes
Frank,
Rubio effective.
So it's gonna be.
Makes him effective.
Hold on. At the end of the day, you have to have a fervor in your body. Rubio's way aggressive. He's an aggressive point guard.
Rubio?
That's the difference between.
Aggressive how? Aggressive how? Aggressive going to the basket?
Yes.
Rubio.
Yes.
Rubio's aggressive going to the basket?
Oh my God.
This is the same Rubio. Was it who did they play?
I'm bugging out right now.
Who did they give space to?
Was
it OKC that gave space to Rubio to shoot?
Rubio creates passes from the perimeter. He might get into the lane from time to time. He's not like going to the basket like Derrick Rose or something.
No, but he know how to make the defense collapse, bro. He's aggressive with the ball. He's aggressive with it. He puts force into what he's doing. He knows where he's going. There's times that Frank get the pick and roll and come back out. What are you doing?
Because if it's not there, what you gonna do? If it's not there, what you gonna do? You want him to force it? You just want him to force it.
Rubio's not. Come on, man. Like,
you just want him. If it's not there, what else is he gonna do if it's not there?
You're telling me right
Tell
now,
me what he's gonna do if it's not there. Tell me what is he gonna do, Mark? If he penetrates off of a screen and roll, which you just said he does a screen and roll, but then before you said he doesn't. But anyway, if he penetrates off of a screen and roll and it's not there, there's nothing there. What do you want him to do if there's nothing there? Tell me what you want him to do if there's nothing there.
Wow, I'm just saying, Rubio.
No, answer my question. Answer my question, Mark. Tell me what you want me to do. What do you want him to do if it's not there?
Well, if it's you pass it back out, but there's plenty of times where he had open pick and rolls and he would retract. It's a play like with Dennis Smith too. He goes in and comes back out. They're not aggressive enough with the ball in their hand.
Okay, so you want him to get in there and lay it up. So you want him to get in there and lay it up. I mean, I'm asking you, what do you want him to do? That's what I'm trying to figure out from you. If it's not there,
do we get to the basket enough?
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question because you're telling me that he'll come off the pick and roll and he'll come back out. But I'm asking you, if it's not there, what do you want him to do? That's what I'm asking you. What do you want him to do if it's not there?
You see most times where he gets the pick and roll, and if it's not there for the pass, shoot the ball. That's what I'm talking about. He's not aggressive in what he's doing.
All right, cool. So you said shoot the ball. I'm going to come around to somebody else. You said shoot the ball. If it's not there, shoot the ball. Well, tonight, Frank Ntilikina took the most shot attempts on the team. He took the most shot attempts on the team. Marcus Morris had 12. Julius Randle had 13. Taj Gibson had 5. RJ Barrett had 13. Frank Ntilikina had 14. 42.9% from the field. Andrew, what's good, man?
Oh, yeah, what's good, Tim? Thanks for having me on, brother. And thanks.
What's up with you, man?
What Mark was saying about, Frank Ntilikina doesn't get to the basket enough. Tonight he did. He may have games where he don't do that. But if you sit down and look at it tonight, the reason why the Knicks lost is because they missed their free throws and they went to that second unit. They got stagnant. That's what really made them relinquish the lead. And them free throws they missed was pivotal. You know what I'm saying? All those free throws they missed. And then, a couple of bad calls. This was a good game they played defensively. Offensively, they had some lapses when they went to that second unit. That's all what happened. You know what I'm saying? If you look at that when they had Dennis Smith out there with Wayne Ellington, Dotson, they had Portis and Mitchell Robinson, it got stagnant, and that's what relinquished the lead. There was no offense, there was no movement. That's what caused them, to me personally, that and the missed free throws to lose the game.
14 missed free throws.
Yeah,
14 missed free throws. That's ridiculous.
Terrible, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's basically what caused it.
14 missed free throws, man.
we played a good game, and the game was ours to win. But those free throws that came back to hurt us, and I was watching the game with my father, and I said, you know what? I said, all these missed free throws, this is going to come back to hurt us. And we had a couple of missed calls, but tonight, when Mark was saying that he don't run the pick and roll, he ran it several times today with Mitchell Robinson. He ran it today with Taj Gibson in the first half. He got a couple of layups off just going straight to the basket. He had missed even when he had got that dunk attempt that he missed, that was off the pick and roll. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't understand. Like, he's showing flashes of it now. Like, he's finally getting now. Mark is judging him off last season, the year before. You watch him now, he's attacking the basket more. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing with Dennis Smith Jr., I don't know what happened with him when he was out there on the court. It just seems, I just don't know. That second unit. See, me personally, I would have put Tria out there due to the simple fact he's offense. Because they didn't run anything. You know what I mean? It was just, they was dribbling on top of the key. They didn't do anything. They had a lot of costly, possessions that went to waste. He has to figure out how to get Tria minutes, and I don't know who he's going to sit down to do that. Me personally, I don't know why Wayne Ellington is in the game, because to me, he's not a defensive player. He's just a 3-point specialist.
And I want to say this. I want to walk back everything that I said in the beginning of the year about Wayne Ellington, man. I hate the way that he plays. I'm watching him play. I'm like, yo, are you serious? This dude is so freaking sorry. He is so sorry, man. Like, the shots that I see him take, I'm like, come on, man. As soon as the ball touches his fingertips, it's up in the air. So sorry. I feel stupid with the things that I said about him earlier. I thought he was going to come in and be able to knock it down, be okay on defense, okay enough, man. Whatever. He got the... I do not like the way he plays ball. I hate the way he plays ball. Seriously, I hate the way he plays.
And that's why for that second unit we need. I think we're gonna have to start playing Tria in that second unit. Because, man, that second unit, that's what really cost me. To me, that's what cost us the game. That second unit and all the missed free throws. Yeah. Because when the second unit came in, we was up by like 12, and then all of a sudden the game got cut to 4. The next thing you know, the Sixers ended up taking the lead by 2 going into or 2 or 4 going into the 4th or something like that. That's what I think cost us the game.
So I want to ask you guys this. I'm going to have everybody live. Everybody's about to be live. I'm going to ask
Mark,
you this.
Can you hear us, man? Oh, he's out.
Yeah, I think Mark, he'll be back in probably. I'm going to ask this. Why is it that someone said, Ralph said, I can't take it back. It's online forever, my guy. Yeah, it's online forever. Why is it that when I watch every other team play, there's always a starter on the floor? One of your main guys is always out there.
Yeah.
Right? I'm watching the 76ers tonight. Either Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, or Ben Simmons is on the floor at all times. Usually 2 of the 3. Why is it that we don't do that?
You know
why is it that we've got to have a whole nother 5 in instead of having some of our best guys, one of our best guys always on the floor? Everybody is live right now.
We signed some bad players this offseason. Think about it. We gave Alfred Payton $8 million. We gave money to Wayne Ellington and Reggie Bullock. Them guys are not even 2 guys. That's what we gave money to. You understand what I'm saying?
There's also a lack of a playing system, right? Because when you have your first, your second units, right, you want your first units to do something, and you want your second units to do something to keep the lead, to draw more fouls, to slow up the game. You know what I mean? So, and when you have those guys, obviously Tobias Harris can create off the dribble, right? So when he's there, and say Ben Simmons and Embiid aren't there, he's going to create more, right? Or if you have Ben Simmons without Embiid there, Ben Simmons is going to be cutting to the basket, driving to the basket, trying to take his man, because Embiid is not going to clog up the lanes. If you have Embiid there with Ben Simmons can pass it off to him. They can play 2-man game, essentially what they did to us the first time we played them, and basically just feed off each other, right? Pass back, have maybe somebody double team, then Ben Simmons cuts the basket. The Knicks do not have an identity, and we don't have leaders on a team. So like Andrew said, is a double whammy, right? We don't have somebody who could come in and say, all right, you know what I do. I'm a Jamal Crawford. I'm a this or that or whatever. I'm going to come in and I'm just gonna purely score, but I'm not gonna just shoot like I'm crazy. But there's gonna be a rhyme or reason when I come off the bench, right? A Ben Gordon, something like that, right? My first unit, I'm gonna have these guys set the tone. You know what we want to do. You want to pass the ball around, get it to open the man. I'm the point guard. I'm gonna facilitate. Fizzo has not done that, right? He only knows basically one way how to play. He has a decent beginning how to start games, but then after that, he doesn't know how to adapt, nor does he know how to use his bench. Like, how many times tonight people now we're talking about bringing Trier back. Trier comes back, he might have 10 points, how many minutes? He's playing bad defense. Then we bring back Knox. Like, I understand that a lot of guys is fluid, but it's up to Fizzo. Fizzo, and look, the season's still relatively young, but he has not found a proper system where you have 3 levels on how to beat a team, right? He doesn't know how to mix and match the guys, the proper synergies between certain players, how the guys who play the right defense, how guys can cover each other, which guys play to each other's strengths to cover each other. He doesn't know that yet, and he's not really implementing that yet. So that's why it looks like when we come out there, like Andrew said, when we have that second unit, they're running with their heads cut off, and they're creating a bunch of turnovers, but he's trying to sit his starters to be ready for the late third and the fourth quarter. And it's killing us because guys like DSJ, he's turning over the ball. He's looking unhealthy. It's hurting us. And Ellington, I'm not going to lie, Sam, I was on your train too with Ellington. I thought he'd be solid, but I don't know what he's telling Ellington to do out there. Is he just telling Ellington to go out there like he's Ben Gordon and just jack up a bunch of shots?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
It shows, man. It shows.
I don't know, but I see him every time I see him get ready to catch the ball, I cringe, man. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
I don't know why you shot Dotson, man. Dotson, I thought, Dotson plays a lot smarter. Ellington gets hot, but again, what is your system? Is Aziz said this, and I'm gonna shout out to Aziz. Aziz pointed out, right? The Knicks play something called the pass reversal, right? And basically, there's a bunch of passes on perimeter to where essentially a big guy sets there's a bunch of picks that come around for one of the shooters, right? Whether it be Ellington, whether it be Dotson, whether it be Knox, right? But how can that be the only guys who are coming off ball to get the shot to shoot the 3? And if you're telling Ellington, if you run that play and Ellington's in there, then Ellington thinks his head, all right, I'm the main guy who's going to be come off ball to shoot the ball. But it's like, Ellington, that's not your game. But again, Fizzo doesn't do anything within his offense to say different. So how can you get mad at guys when they're basically playing the way you want them to play?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Sim,
what do we think about? Oh, go ahead, Savvy. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Isaiah wants you to know that he would like a turn on this topic as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a turn. I had to save Isaiah. Hold up, 1 minute, Savvy. 1 minute. I had to save Isaiah from himself because this dummy started opening mail with his address facing the camera, right? So I had to take him off so that people didn't see his address and all of his personal information, which looked like a check.
Why are you chopping on the tray like that, Isaiah?
So,
sheesh.
I had to save this man from himself. He doesn't deserve to talk.
Hey, yo, Sim said you almost exposed yourself, so he's not gonna let you talk.
I mean, come on, man.
Check it out, Sim. You said Ben Simmons, Embiid, and Harris. 2 of those 3, or at least one of those 3, was always on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say is those 3 for us?
I don't know who those 3 are, but
okay.
Right? Well, I get what you're saying. You're not saying like who is the big 3. I would always have.
Who's our 3 reliable starters?
I would always
if
have.
This guy is in. We got it.
I would always have either Frank Ntilikina, R.J. Barrett, or Marcus Morris on the floor.
Frank, R.J., or Marcus Morris.
I would always have one of those 3 guys on the floor.
Okay.
2 of the 3 if I could. I would always have one of those guys, and not Frank because of scoring, but Frank because of defense.
All right, now check me out. There's a conspicuous omission in that 3. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, Julius Randle hasn't popped up in that 3.
Well, because the reason, I get you. You're right. The reason why I'm not there with him yet is because of his defensive lapses and the basketball IQ. Those 2 things right there hurt me with Julius Randle.
That turnovers, man.
And so, okay. So you're saying why? All right. If we kept if we kept either Barrett, Ntilikina, or Morris on the floor at all times, I agree with you. That'd probably be a good combination. It'd be good, especially because two of those guys are young guys that are going to have no problem meshing with whoever you bring out there as a role player. With Dotson out there as a role player, if Trier gets minutes as a role player, then cool. They're gonna do great with Mitchell Robinson in there, so we can, and that goes for Knox as well on the offensive end. You feel me? On defense, of course not, but on offense it goes for him as well. But when I was thinking of it, I was thinking about Randall, Morris, and either Barrett or Frank, and I was thinking that there's too many chemistry issues going between that connectivity of players, especially with Randall. Okay, that I observed that would make it so that there's a very limited amount of flexibility that you have in who you can throw out there, and the number of tandems and sets that you could form with these combinations of players when you start subbing guys in. Which is why if you do leave out Randall, then you have a better sort of three set of guys to lean on, three pillars to lean on, that you're gonna have one of out on the floor at all times, because he, as a $63 man, is not cutting it for me. And I heard what you said about Ellington, and I agreed too. I saw that shot, and even if he did touch his hand or whatever, I was like, man, like this guy doesn't even land his feet. But if we're gonna do this, then we need to solidify who's going to be that three and who's going to be the guys that we bring in down the depth chart that's going to come in and form the tandems with the guy that's staying in there. Okay,
I agree.
Because we do have guys who are not trusted by other guys. We have RJ Barrett. We've seen him get frustrated with Julius Randle multiple times. I've been seeing this since the second week almost. Okay. And I'm looking at that question you posed, and I'm like, that's good, but who do we have that's going to command that authority? All right, I've been in, I'm still in rhythm, you're coming in. Okay, I'm calling the shots, get in rhythm. We're going to get this going. We're going to keep this offense flowing, because at no point is it more important to do that than the third quarter, which is when we don't even exist in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna come to Isaiah. The guy, he almost got his identity stolen. You know what I'm saying? And then he's gonna want to sue me probably. Isaiah.
Yo, first of all, that was just my New York Easy Pass. If anybody want that information, please pay my pass. Please pay my tickets.
Well, it still had your address on it.
Listen, man, you try to break into my house if you want to.
I ain't trying. I don't want to break into your house. I don't want to break into your house. But you say a lot of crazy stuff. Somebody might be looking for you one day, and now your address is all over the internet.
All right, man. Anybody looking for me is because I stole their girl.
See. You remind me. Check this out. I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. Last night, check this out. Last night, okay. Me and my daughter, we went to visit my mother because we went away. We went down south. We went to Virginia for Thanksgiving, right? And so when we came back, we went and we visited my mother. After we visited my mother, we left her house about 1:15, about 1 o'clock in the morning, about 12:50 in the morning, something like that. We left. We went to McDonald's because we wanted to get some nuggets and a shake. Right? We get to McDonald's and we order at 1:11 a.m. we order. We move up, we pay for it, and we're sitting behind, we're one car behind to get our food. And we wait. And we wait. And we wait some more. We start having a conversation about institutional racism because we're waiting for so long. A deep conversation too, right? We start beeping. I started beeping my horn. The people in front of me started cheering because I'm beeping my horn. We wait another 10 minutes. We finally get up. It's our turn now to get our food. We get up there, and at this point, it's like 1:38 in the morning. Already waited 27 minutes. And the lady says, she says, what did you order? And I told her, we ordered nuggets, shake, and fries. She said, oh, I don't see your order. Like, you don't see my order. So I give her the receipt. She said, okay, give me a minute. She closes the window. I don't know what they're doing back there. I just see, and I asked my daughter, I'm like, is she by herself? They're walking around back there. They're doing this, they're doing that. I see him get the shakes. They put the shakes on the little table and all this stuff. I look at my clock. It's now 1:45. Right? It's 1:45 in the morning. I ordered at 1:11. We continue to talk about institutional racism. I see a man inside. I'm looking through the window. He has a tie on. I'm like, oh, that's the manager. I wave. Right? He looks out, and I think he's looking at me. But there's a car that pulls up to the side. He walks outside. I say, yo, yo, yo. And I wave at him. He waves at me like he knows me and starts walking towards the car. I'm like, yo, come here. He comes over to the window. I'm like, yo. At this point, it's now 1:51. I'm like, yo, are you the manager? He looks dead in my face and he says, no. My daughter looked at me and said, Dad, it says manager on his tag. I said, bro, it says manager on your tag. He said, oh yeah, I'm the shift manager. I was like, what are you? So why are you? I didn't say this, but I was thinking, so why are you telling me that you're not the manager? I said, yo, I ordered my food at 1:11. It's now 1:51. I've been waiting for 40 minutes for nuggets and fries and a strawberry shake with whipped cream on top. I've been waiting for 40 minutes. He puts his head inside the window and he says, yo, what's going on? Right? The lady comes up. He's like, yo, they've been waiting for 40 minutes. She said, yeah, I'm getting the food now. Right? He pulls out a bunch of stickers out of a bunch of cards out of his pocket. He says, he gives me like 3 of them. Right? And then he says, give these to everybody that's behind you because there's like 8 cars behind me. Right? He said, give these to everybody that's behind you. I look at it, it says 1 free sandwich. I'm like, 1 free sandwich? What am I going to do with 1 free sandwich? Finally, at 1:54, I get my food. 1:55, I get my food. I waited. Oh, I'm sorry, not 1:55. At 2:05, I get my food. I waited 54 minutes for nuggets and fries and a milkshake. And you know what, Isaiah? What? You remind me of that manager. Because he looked me dead in the eye. He had on a tag that says manager. And he looked me dead in the eye when I asked him if he was a manager and said, no, I'm not the manager. And then when I called him out and said, yo, it says manager on your tag, he says, oh yeah, I'm the manager of this shift. That's you.
That's me.
That is you. And yeah, I know I said all of that just to say that's you.
That ain't me, bro. I'm sorry. I ain't that. I'm not gonna lie to you, Sim. Can I be honest with you, son?
What's up?
I joke a lot, but when I work, I actually work. Besides me, being on I actually work when I'm actually when it's customers. So I don't do that. So
I hope not. I hope not.
No,
Yo, I was so
No.
mad last night. I was mad. I was like, yo, I can't believe this, man.
I can tell you was mad because you just took all my talk time to tell your damn story.
I waited 54 minutes. I waited 54 minutes for some freaking nuggets, man. I was hot.
I know, Slim, you don't got to snitch, but what was the dude's first name?
I don't even remember his first name. He probably don't even know his own first name. He was worried about getting in his Uber and going home.
Oh man. But Sim, I forgot what I was about to say. No. So I wanted to touch back a little bit back to what my man Guillermo was saying and what Nas was saying over there, Andrew. Andrew do like Nas right now. I ain't gonna lie, but you know what's crazy, Sim? When it comes to Fizdale, man, this is a pick and roll team. I want people to realize this should be a pick and roll team. You know what I'm saying, Sim? I mean, we got dudes. Julius Randle and Bobby Portis don't even do proper screens. That is a problem. When, I didn't understand what Mark was talking about, Frank not being a pick and roll player. Frank and Frank and KP, if you go back to that year, man, they were picking and popping, picking and rolling. They were doing their thing. It was beautiful basketball. I mean, it was to a point when people forget KP was pleading to Jeff Hornacek to start Frank because Frank was a really good. They played really well together. So I didn't understand what Mark is really good at basketball knowledge, but the pick and roll, Frank is really to me good at pick and roll. But we don't slash them, we don't cut, we don't pick and roll. When this team could have won a few more games if they just followed these principles of picking and rolling, doing proper screens, slashing to the basket. Why does it take R.J. Barrett, who's a rookie, to be one of the only players in the last 2 or 3 years to slash to the basket, to cut to the basket? This dude is one of the only players I've seen on the Knicks have in a very long time actually cut to the basket. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even on Fizdale. That's not on Fizdale. That's on RJ coaches from high school, his father, Steve Nash, Coach K. That has nothing to do with David Fizdale. He learned that from, Steve Nash, Coach K, all those guys of when to cut to the basket. Again, because this game wasn't a complete disaster because they played hard. But when you have leads in your home and the Sixers didn't want to play, you got to take advantage of those. You got to take advantage of those games. You have to. 14 assists, you can't win. ISO, you can't do it.
Not only did they not really come to play, they had 2 starters out.
Yeah, I mean, but Sam, see, those is what you have to take advantage of. When you have Josh Richardson and Harford out, that you got to take advantage of that. We're not gonna win honestly, Sim. I'm gonna be real with you. We're not probably gonna win till Golden State. That's the next time we're probably gonna win. Is when we face Golden State.
Let's hope that we win versus Golden State. I don't know what to expect from this team. I have no idea what to expect.
It's crazy because Sim, it's just so frustrating because the Knicks will play good for 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters, and then the third is just about to be some bullshit, and they just about to do. I'm sorry, cousin, but they're about to do some BS and just do stupid stuff that, like Guillermo was saying, the Knicks are one of the best teams I've ever seen stop doing what they do to get the lead. That is amazing to me that they stopped doing what they would do in the first half, in the complete second half, and stop doing it.
Well, I think what happens is this, though.
Like them.
I think what happens is this. I think the opposing teams make some adjustments, and they do things to try to stop what the Knicks were doing, and the Knicks are easy to concede it. And when they stop what the Knicks are doing, they go ISO. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find a way when a team stops what we're doing, we got to be able to counteract. So when they react to what we're doing and make an adjustment, we got to be able to counteract. Let me get to a phone call, man. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hello, Simeon. I just want to say that tonight's game was really competitive. I was proud of our team's effort. It was great tonight, but I'm not into moral victories because we've seen this with this team that they'll play hard one game and they'll look great, and then they'll take the week off. So, I like to see some consistency for the next 10 games.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things. These guys have got to learn how to be consistent and consistently play at a certain level.
Yes,
I can say that's part of learning how to win.
No, you're absolutely right about that. I also want to say that, we're going to experience some growing pains with our young players. One guy tonight I'd like to talk about is Mitchell Robinson. Like, I feel this kid could be a great defensive anchor, but he commits so many dumb fouls that it's frustrating at times. Like, I felt tonight we could have used him towards the end of the game, but because he found out that it really hurt us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Mitch is going to learn that. We got to remember with Mitch, it's his second year in the league. He's young. He didn't play in college. He took a whole year off, a whole year of not playing organized basketball. And this is where, things like this is where that college experience is very important, because you have in college, you talk about player development. Your whole college career is about development, and so when you're in college, you have coaches working with you on how to develop as a basketball player. How do you develop as a young man, right? That's one of the important things about college, And obviously, Mitchell Robinson didn't play not even a couple months in college, skipped college altogether, and he worked out for a year before he went to the NBA. So he has a lot to learn, just about the game of basketball,
No, I agree with you. I know you were great players who came straight to the NBA from high school. It took them a few years. I remember Kobe Bryant. His first 2 or 3 years, he didn't look like he was a great player, and then he just came on. Just
right.
even Kevin Garnett. I remember his first 2 years he was very around, and then the third year he just exploded. So I understand it takes time. It's frustrating at times seeing them make mistakes, but knowing that they're young and that we just have to be patient with them.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They're young. There's going to be things that they have to fight through. Mitchell Robinson is going to be a very good basketball player in a couple of years. He's 20 years old right now, I think. He's going to be a very good basketball player in a couple of years. Hey, my man, I appreciate the call. I know there's a few people trying to call in, so I want to make sure I try to get to everybody, okay?
Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. And before I get to another phone call, I do want to one of the reasons that the Knicks lost this game is free throws. The Knicks missed 14 free throws tonight. That's a lot of free throws, man. We had a chance. We were 19 for 33 from the free throw line. We make half of those free throws, we probably win this game. Probably win the game. So, what is David Fizdale going to do about the free throw situation? Hey, what is he going to do about this free throw situation? Let's hear from Coach David Fizdale, ladies and gentlemen, about what he's going to do, his plan to fix the Knicks free throw woes.
Brother, I'm about to put Sage in the room. We've done so much different stuff. And in the gym, when we're just shooting free throws, working on it, guys make their free throws. Our percentages are up, but just for some reason, when we're getting into the games, we're just not knocking them down at the level that I know we're capable of. And again, that we just don't have that margin for error to shoot under 70% in the game, especially in the close games. Brother, I'm about to put Sage in the room.
I'm going to put Sage in the room. That's what he says. I'm going to put Sage in the room. You better do more than put Sage in the room. You know what I mean? It's inexcusable that we miss so many free throws. I don't care. It's inexcusable. We shouldn't be missing so many free throws, man. We're professional. They are professional basketball players. Listen, one or two guys, that's going to happen. But the team as a whole, come on, man, it's ridiculous. You need to have a better plan than putting Sage in the room. I don't know. And maybe he does. Maybe, he's joking, making light of it, whatever. Me as a coach, maybe I'm just too serious when it comes to coaching. I wouldn't be able to be on the stage and make light and joke about anything. I'd be so serious, and I'm not saying that. I don't know if that's a fault of his or not. I don't know. I just wouldn't be able to joke like that, man. I'd be too serious. I'd be too pissed off and mad every time I lose. I hate losing. I don't get it. I don't like to lose. Even when I'm in practice and scrimmaging with my girls, I don't let them win. I win. I don't even like letting them. I don't even like when we're going through drills and I'm trying to teach them something and I got to let them do what I'm trying to teach them. I don't even like doing that, but I know I got to do it. Very competitive. But anyway, let's listen to RJ Barrett and things going through his mind. It's RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen.
Solid first half. You hold the Sixers to 37 points. I mean, one of the better defensive efforts that we've seen from you guys. And then in the third quarter, the script flipped a little bit there. What's your take on how things broke down?
We got to do it for all 48. They're a great team, playoff team. They're not going to just stop, So the third quarter kind of came out flat. And they kind of jumped on us.
A lot of firsts for you as you go along here, but, you go back into this game late, 5 foul troubles, you've got to play through that. I mean, what was your mindset when you went back into that game? I mean, just particularly the way you were still able to attack.
Yeah, I was just going to still play aggressive. What's the point of me being out there on the court if I'm, playing scared? So just kept playing aggressive and just hope for the best.
I just talked to Joel Embiid, and he said that, he thinks that you have a real chance to be a special player in this league. And, he talked about how you attacked him at the rim. I mean, in your mind, when you made that decision to go right after him, I mean, what are you thinking knowing that he's so much bigger than you?
Yeah, that's my big bro. But now I was just kind of thinking, try to get a bucket, try to make a play, and whatever it was, and kind of just happened.
Somebody asked me earlier today whether or not I think RJ Barrett is franchise guy, and I do. From the things that I've seen from him this season, so far at least, his mentality, the way that he approaches the game. He's the kind of guy that no matter what he's doing on the offensive side of the floor, he knows that he can contribute in other ways, and he does. And even on bad shooting nights, he's able to get, 13, 14, 15 points when he's not having a good shooting night because he can get to the free throw line, because he can get offensive rebounds and put them back. I think he can and will be a franchise player for the Knicks, and his mentality going forward as he gains the respect of the elder players and younger players on his team, his mentality, I believe, is what's going to hopefully lead this team. He has a rock solid mentality. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of mental strength and a lot of mental fortitude. That's why I believe in this guy and him being a franchise player. And I believe once he starts knocking down his free throws and he's really shooting consistently from the field, he'll average 22, 23 points easy. And, of course, he's a much better defender than most people thought that he would be at such an early time in his career. And yes, the Knicks were, like he said, the Knicks were playing a really good team in the Philadelphia 76ers, rated number 2 in defensive. Their defensive rating is number 2 in the league. But, man, when you got a 16-point lead, man, the teams are going to go on runs, and good defensive teams are going to step up and play defense, and they're going to step their game up. But, damn, man. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's going on, son?
I'm chilling, man. How are you?
I'm good.
So, what you think, man? What you think?
I think we started, the game turned at the end of the second quarter. So at the end of the second quarter, you remember when the ball got clumsy, we made 3 back-to-back turnovers. It was 2 by Morris and then 1 by Randall. And then the third quarter ended, and then Philly came back after the halftime, and then they went on that run. That's when I think the game started turning the tide. And then if we would have at least hit 8 of those, 13, 14 missed free throws, we would have won the game. But I think towards the end of that second quarter was when the tide started to turn for us.
Yeah, and this has happened. This happens. It's happened so many times, man. What is it?
Yeah, man.
How does Fizdale get the guys to be able to focus on what they've done and continue to do it going into the second half of games, or when they build a lead?
Honestly, I'm starting to believe what Mark is saying. I think he takes that couple approach to it. That approach as in he doesn't let the outside see what when he's getting, like, like when couples argue, they argue in private. They tell you to argue in private, not in public. I think he lets them have it in private, because the last game he had an extended he was extended in the locker room with the guys, and it was reported that he was really letting them have it and letting them know how he felt. And then today, coming off that break, that timeout, he wasn't only barking at RJ, he was barking at the whole team. I saw him come at Morris a little bit too. So he does let them have it, but I think he does it behind closed doors.
I mean,
the thing
I
is,
hope
he has to start displaying that publicly right away. You can't let them do what they're doing and then wait till you come back into the locker room and let them know that they're wrong. You have to address. You have to nip it in the bud right away.
Right. I agree. And, there's one thing about addressing the team, and then there's one thing about calling people out personally. And I know from experience, as when I first started coaching, there were certain times when I didn't want to call a player out personally. As I gained more experience as a coach, I was like, you know what? I've got to call somebody out, because when I address the team and I say, we got to do this, we got to do that, but in my mind, I'm talking about one person. That person, is easy for that person to say, well, he ain't talking to me. Even if that person knows it, it's easy for them to say, he ain't talking to me. He's talking to this person or that person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there are times, even in that locker room, because it's easy to address the team and yell at the whole team, right? But sometimes you got to call people out. And as a coach, you also got to know someone's personality and say, if I call this guy out, he may crumble and crawl and I lose all of his confidence. So you might have to bring that person to the side and talk to him and say, listen, this is what I see from you. This is what I need you to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do it, this is what's going to happen. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just, and he might. I don't know. Just from things that I see on the floor, like I'm looking at, like, what do you think about Kevin Knox not playing tonight?
I think he's approaching Kevin the wrong way. I think Kevin, he's not being receptive to the type of way that he's coming at Kevin. And I think he's giving him too short of a leash. He's not, it's affecting him. Even when he sees, when Kevin is out there and he makes a mistake, you see it in his body language. Like, he knows right away that he's going to be reprimanded. Instead of giving him that leash or that vote of confidence, like, yo, get out there. I understand that he's not playing well, but I feel like his confidence is torn to the point that he's scared to make, like the same with Frank. He tears down these guys' confidence by giving them too short of a leash when he does things. Yeah. Because what he gave him the other day, like 4 minutes or something like that.
Who?
So I think that's too short of a leash. And then today he gets a DMP.
Right. And see, that's what I'm saying, because some of the mistakes that Kevin Knox has done on the floor, other players have done the same exact thing. You know what I mean? And made some of the same exact mistakes or even worse. And they don't have a short leash.
Exactly. And to the point that you was making about when you were saying the weed thing, when you know that he's addressing somebody publicly by saying we, but he really meant you. I think that he did that in the last press conference. He was saying we, but he was really directing that towards the team and certain players. And today we saw exactly at that when those 3 turnovers happened, and I was like, yo, what the hell is going on? We was moving the ball perfectly fine. And then we did those 3 turnovers, and then that just, it turned everything upside down. It complete 180.
Yeah.
It changed the whole momentum.
Yeah.
Of how the ball was swinging.
And publicly, like
Morris
you know,
went nuts for 2 possessions straight. Then Julius did it, and then we lost all momentum there. And then we went into the second half, and it was everything went down from there.
Everything went down. And you know, I don't mind, like, in the media, you know, he says we instead of just calling out a player in the media. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that he's doing it in the locker room. And obviously we have no way to know if he's calling out those people directly in the locker room, you know? In the media, I get it, though. I get it. You know, you don't want to embarrass your players in the media, you know, that way. You want to handle it in-house. So hopefully.
And to your point, Breen brought it up in the broadcast. Breen said that amongst the coaching staff and front office, he does address people. But the thing is, if you're addressing people and then you're not taking action for what you're addressing them for,
that's it.
Then they're not going to respect what you're telling them.
That's it. That's it.
So at some point, you got to put actions behind your words.
That's it. Exactly.
You're doing it to the kids, but you're not doing it to the adults.
To the adults.
Now
right.
It's time for you to step up as a man and start doing it to the kids, to the adults as well.
That's right. Yeah, no doubt. Hey, my man.
One last point I wanted to make before I hang up. If this thing at this point, I think the season is basically done.
Yeah.
For everybody wanting the young kids to come out and play, which I'm one of them. Hey, at least we got January, February, March, and April. January through April, I hope that's when we're gonna get to see the kids play.
Yeah.
You
know.
At this point, it's a wash.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, like you said, the season's over. So, you know, sooner or later, we're going to get to see just the kids play. Because the season, man.
I think they're going to end up.
Season's done.
Going for assets and then letting the kids play at least February through the end of the season. So they're going to have like 2 or 3. They should have like 2 or 3 months to develop.
To just rock with those guys. I
don't see them turning this around. And if they try to save the season and turn this around, I think that'll be a complete that'll mess up that just hinders the development of the kids, and that's why this roster was stupidly built. Because if you try to salvage the season and end up failing, then you're gonna end up failing on the development side as well, because the kids are not gonna be seeing any playing time. So cut your losses early instead of late.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, no doubt.
All right, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
All right, you too.
All right, later. And you know, talking about the development of kids, you look at tonight, 2 players. Last year we drafted 3 players. Well, we drafted 2 players, and we signed Alonzo Trier as an undrafted rookie. Tonight, Mitchell Robinson, he played 29 minutes. But Alonzo Trier played no minutes. Kevin Knox, our number 9 pick, played 0 minutes. And, of course, that's been coming, right? His playing time has been dwindling night after night. Played 0 minutes. We'll see if he gets back out of the doghouse and starts playing more minutes. See what happens. But what does that say? I mean, you look at the guys who played tonight. You know, we talk about the young guys playing. R.J. Barrett, Frank Ntilikina, they're both young guys. Mitchell Robinson, he's a young guy. Dennis Smith Jr. played 14 minutes. Then you got Damian Dotson. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 of our young guys played significant minutes tonight. Frank played the most minutes on the team. He played 37 minutes. So those guys are getting valuable experience. Right? Alonzo Trier, you know, how much do they, I don't want to say respect them. I'm pretty sure they love the kid and respect the kid. Right? But, you know, they're going to look at Alonzo Trier. You know, we signed him as an undrafted rookie. You know, it's not that much of a loss. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that That personally, I'm just saying, in a business aspect, right or wrong, just saying it, in a business aspect. I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't know if it's the defense, the defensive issue. That's what I've heard. That's what I've read. That is the defensive issue. I thought that he was at least an okay defensive player. Maybe it's more of what he's done, what he does on the offensive side and how he plays. I don't know. He was a guy that we all thought was definitely going to get burned. It's crazy. Everything that we thought coming into the season, it's different. Everything we thought was different. Dennis Smith Jr. was supposed to be a guy that could, if he took the next step, could really make this team be something or do something. That's not happening. Frank Ntilikina, everybody thought that he was going to be out of the rotation, and he was the third wheel point guard. It was Elfrid Payton and Dennis Smith Jr. Well, obviously, that's not the case. We don't even know when Elfrid Payton's coming back. Thought that Julius Randle was going to take the step that Pascal Siakam took this season. We thought maybe Julius Randle would take that step. That hasn't happened. I don't know. And again, I hate to keep harping on it and saying it, but our offense is worse than it was last year. We're supposed to have better players, but our offense is worse than it was last year. And it's getting worse by the minute. Scored 95 points tonight. It's getting worse by the minute, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to another phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, sir?
What's going on with you, bro?
What's going on? No, nothing much. Everything's good.
All right, man. So what's on your mind?
I don't know. I just don't understand what Fizdale's doing out there. I don't understand how, if you take all the players with their season, with their free throw averages before the season, all of them except for Mitch and Morris are shooting below their average. I mean, I don't see anything that Ellington's doing that can't get from Trier. I mean, I don't understand how you're getting Ellington minutes here and not set the bench tonight. It doesn't make sense to me.
I definitely agree with that.
And
yep,
then,
I definitely agree with that.
Mainly, I mean, and it might not be pertinent to that conversation, but I'm just thinking about December 15th, and I'm wondering, and I'll make this quick. Who do you think, and you can ask the chat, whoever, whenever you decide, should stay, and who do you think should go? Because we can't do this for the rest of the season. It's going to be unwatchable. You have to make a change. So that's the one question I was wondering. Who stays and who goes? I mean.
Yeah. Well.
And I'll let you guys talk about that on the other side.
Okay. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. The first thing I'll say is this. I do not think Julius Randle is going anywhere. All right? And I know that's one guy that everyone's going to be like, we need to trade him now and blah, 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 boom. I don't think Julius Randle is going anywhere. He's got a contract. He's making $20 million this year, $63 million. And people say $63 million, oh, the $63 million man and ba-boom and all this stuff. It's not like he got $150 million. Okay, the $20 million that he's making is not like crazy in today's NBA. Although he is the Knicks' highest paid player. Okay, he is the Knicks' highest paid player. But I don't think he's going anywhere. He's signed for 3 years. Right now, he's playing below his value. Well, yeah, I guess below his value or below his expectations. If you trade him now, you're going to be selling low. You're going to be selling low. And teams are not going to give you what you think you might want from him. So, no, I don't think he's going anywhere. All right, Randle is going to be here. Get used to him. Get used to Julius Randle and his style of basketball because you're going to see it for the next couple of years. I think he's going to be here. Unless something astronomical comes along, he's going to be here. Right? So we can only hope that he continues to, if Fizdale is here with him, they find some kind of continuity. And Fizdale learns how to use him. And he learns how to play the way that Fizdale wants him to play. But he's going to be here. Marcus Morris, I do not think he's going to be here next year. I think Marcus Morris is going to, if he continues to shoot at 51% from the three-point line, he's going to make some money in the offseason because he can shoot 51% from the three-point line, and he's a decent defender. And you can ask him to go one-on-one and score in limited situations. Obviously for the Knicks, this is a role of his. He's our leading scorer right now. But for a good team, he's a guy. He's a guy that can fit a role. And if you need him to go out and score one night, he can go out and do it for you. Not going to be every night, but he can go out and do it for you. Or you're not going to have a winning team with him being your leading guy. He's a role player, but a guy that can go out and get you some buckets if you need it, or get you some buckets on some nights. And he plays defense. Right? So in the free agent market next year, Marcus Morris is going to be someone that can maybe demand $20 million, maybe get $60 million over 3 years. He might be able to get it. Because the market's not that good. So if I'm the Knicks, you got to try to trade Marcus Morris. At least package him. I don't know what you trade him for. Right? I know people say a first-round pick. I don't think we're getting a first-round pick for him. He's 30 years old. He's an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. I'm not sure that teams are going to give up a first-round pick unless they just have a multitude of picks. And you still got to match salary. Right? So now you got to try to grab a first round pick from somebody, and they've got to value Marcus Morris so much that they think he puts them over the top to win a championship. Right? So I'm looking and thinking about teams, and I know Isaiah said Philadelphia. I don't know about that. But the team that wants him, the team, if there's a team that's going to give up a first round pick for Marcus Morris, they got to believe that he puts them over the top to win a championship. And then they've got to offer up a first-round pick, and they've got to offer up a player. If I'm the Knicks, I want a player back that is not going to extend beyond 2020 or, 2021. Maybe I say, okay, as long as this player doesn't go past 2021. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. I think, with Marcus Morris, you probably got to put him in a package with some other players to bring back something. So maybe I don't know. I know that, some people were talking about D'Angelo Russell. Obviously, I wanted D'Angelo Russell. I wanted D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle at the beginning of the season or, over free agency. I wanted those two guys. And I believe that if we would have gotten those two guys, we would look very different out there. I do. D'Angelo Russell, for a very bad Golden State Warriors team, is averaging 25 points and 7 assists a game right now. But I think we would have looked very different. Right? Looked very different. Is it the smart move now? I don't know. With the way things, if we were closer to 500, I'd say, yeah, let's do it. Is it the smart move now? I don't know. I have to think about that. I'm not sure. Do you take Marcus Morris and Bobby Portis, or Marcus Morris and Wayne Ellington, and then they might want something young, some young player, Do you make that trade so you can bring in D'Angelo Russell? I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question. You know? And then you got to look at it. If you do that, now you're saying that D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett, that's your future. You know, you're saying that's your future. Now, you would still have room to fit in another guy somewhere, right? You know, because neither one of those guys is making crazy, crazy money. I mean, you know, Julius Randle's $20 million a year. D'Angelo Russell, I forgot what he is. You know, I'd have to look that up. But he's making, you know, he has a very good contract. So you would have to be convinced that those two guys are going to be pieces to a team that can be a championship contender. You tell me, are those two guys, Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell, now that we've seen Julius Randle, like really seen Julius Randle, are those two guys pieces to a championship team, pieces to a contender? I don't know. And the reason why you don't know is because you don't know how Julius Randle is going to look with a guy like D'Angelo Russell next to him. At least for us. At least for us. So that's a good question. That's a good question. I want to talk to the guys. I want to find. Well, I'll get to a couple more phone calls, and I'm gonna find out from the guys in the chat. And I'm gonna find out from the guy that's on this next call too. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
What's going on, Sim? How's everything, brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm chilling, man. So let me ask you a question.
Thanksgiving, man?
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Let me ask you a question. If the Knicks traded Marcus Morris, Wayne Ellington.
If they what? I'm sorry. What was it? If they what, Morris?
If the Knicks traded Marcus Morris, Wayne Ellington, right? Listen. Wayne Ellington and whoever else for for D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
How different do you think Randle will look in this offense?
Well, I mean, for one, you're gonna have to definitely give more than that. You're gonna have to give a young piece. You know, they're gonna want
I
like
agree.
A Knox or something.
I agree. You have to give up a young player.
No, that's gonna just trade him for expiring contracts. At least I don't think so. I mean, I think you would. You know what I mean?
Well, they might. Well, let's look at the Warriors' situation right now. Yeah. They might trade him for expiring contracts.
You think so?
Because listen, they're going to get, if they continue, think about this. They're going to get a top 5 pick, right?
Yeah.
They're going to get a top 5 pick. They're going to bring back next year Steph Curry. Klay Thompson, right? They're going to bring those guys back. You still got Draymond Green. And then
that's crazy to think they're gonna get a top pick with those players coming back next year. That's crazy.
Exactly. And then you trade D'Angelo Russell for expiring contracts.
But I think they're gonna want more than those guys.
But think about it. But hold up. But then you trade D'Angelo Russell for expiring contracts, and you have how much does D'Angelo Russell make?
Oh man, I think it was 4 for like 110 or something like that, I believe. 4 years, like 110 or so, something like that.
I'm going to pull it up right now.
Yeah. So I know it's 4 for, I think one in between 110 and 120, something like that, I believe. Could be wrong.
Because
I think,
so I'm pulling it up. I'm bringing it up.
Yeah,
but I'm not ready to say that.
I don't know if you have to do that because we're going to get a top 5 pick ourselves, and it's a very deep point guard draft, so I don't even know if we have to give up anything for Russell. We could probably get our future point guard in this draft, whether it's a Ball or,
that's true, too.
Anthony or the kid from Arizona. I can't think of his name. The kid from Arizona, the point guard with the orange hair, his name's escaping me right now. Can't think of his name, but it's a good point guard draft. Yeah.
I mean, that's true. That is very true. D'Angelo Russell. The thing about D'Angelo Russell is he's a known commodity right now. Kind of a known commodity.
Right.
D'Angelo Russell makes $27 million this year. Makes $28 million next year, $30 million a year after that, $31 million in 2022, 2023.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't want that in my books. And we can draft a point guard that we don't have to pay for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean.
That's just so I would look at it. I get what you're saying, but if they're gonna want a young asset, which I think they will, like a Knox, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem throwing him in. Just being real, I would do that in a heartbeat.
They may.
I don't like Knox's game. But they're going to want a young player in that. I don't think they'll just give him away just to get rid of the contract. And I mean, I don't think they're going to get a ton for him. Like they're not going to. Because people know they have to trade him basically when they get Curry and Clay back,
Yeah, I mean, they may, they may want a young, but I wouldn't discount it that because, like I said, if you're trading them, if they're trading him and they know they got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry come back, they still got Draymond Green, they have a top 5 draft pick, and then they got $30 million in cap space.
Right. Yeah, that's
you never
true.
know.
The rich get richer, man. Like you think about that's crazy. Next year they're gonna get a top 5 pick and they got Curry and Clay back with Draymond.
Tell me about it.
Man.
Tell me about it. It's crazy.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yep, go ahead.
Why is it that our young players are either regressing, like Knox, or just staying the same, like Mitch, basically? Frank, I'd say, is getting a little bit better, at least, offensively a little better. But, like, they're not getting – Knox is getting worse. Mitch is basically the same. No, he hasn't shown any more offensive game besides alley-oops, and the foul trouble's there every game still. Is it they're just not good, like they were just bad draft picks, or, like, the coaching too, or, like, both? What do you think?
Well, one is the simple fact that they're young guys. Well, when you talk about Kevin Knox, man, and I know people will always be tired of hearing that they're young guys, but they're young guys.
Yeah, I'm tired of that too. So here he's 20, but there's a lot of 20-year-olds, but they're not as bad as Kevin Knox. At least not at this stage. I'm not saying he's always going to be like this, but he's, I get why the coaches give him your man. I wouldn't play him either the way he's playing. I wouldn't give him any minutes.
I know, but they're young guys, man. Like people always want to point, they always want to point to some other players on some other teams, right?
Yeah.
And they're quick to throw a player down. They did it to Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, he's killing it this year.
Right? They did it to Andrew Wiggins, but you know how old Andrew Wiggins is now?
Yeah, he's still like 22, I think, right?
No, he's like 24 or 25 years old now.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it took he came into the league at 19 years old.
Yeah.
Right? Came into the league at 19 years old. And people expect, people look at LeBron James and, guys that came into the league like LeBron James and dominated, right? And expect that, a team is going to draft somebody like Minnesota drafted Andrew Wiggins. And because there's all this hype around the players, when they're coming into the league, people expect that they're going to come in and just start destroying the league right away. And don't expect that these guys are going to go through just the maturation of a young man.
Right. But you also have to show, even though they're young, they're not showing. I mean, Knox is showing nothing. At least Frank, Mitch, when he's not in foul trouble, I think he's a difference maker defensively. A good shot protector.
Listen, I understand that.
And, Knox is. I mean, man, he's bad.
I fully understand it, but even still, you gotta give these young guys a chance to grow.
I mean, they'll be playing
because there's a lot to learn.
And we trade, the Morrises and the the Porters. He'll be playing. Don't worry. He'll be playing eventually, for better or for worse.
I'm just saying.
To play, but
we are
see
so.
Why he's not playing when he, once he plays, when we trade all these guys. You'll see why.
Yeah, but listen, just think about this. Think about this right now. When you really break it down, think about it. It seems like it's been a long season already, right? Yeah. Kevin Knox played a rookie year, and he's now 19 games into his second season.
Yeah.
The Knicks are 4-15. 19 games into his second season, and he's being written off.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm close. I'm close to writing him off, man. Like, he's just defensively just unbelievably. He's slow. Like, his awareness is terrible. He's lazy. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. And I do. But I'm close. I'm close to just saying he's just a bad top 10 pick at this point, man.
Okay.
I hope
I'm just saying,
wrong, man. I hope so,
people.
But I don't think I'm gonna be, man.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
just
I
me,
appreciate the
just
call,
from what
man.
I watch,
Yeah.
we'll see. But
yeah. All right. Appreciate the call, my man. People are so quick to write off all of these players. I don't understand, and I don't think people comprehend. I don't think people comprehend what I'm saying and what other people have said. Not just me. But when it's a different league. And yes, some players come in at a young age and they can play very, very well. It happens that way. Cool. That's great. Everyone's not the same. People's maturation level is different. People's upbringing is different. Everyone's journey is going to be different. You got to give the guys a chance to learn this game. It's different coming from high school to the NBA, college to the NBA. From high school to college is different. You got to give the guys a chance. Everyone is too quick to just write these players off, man. And so many times I heard about Andrew Wiggins that he's not going to be. He was not really a bust, but he wasn't what he was expected to be, and da-da-da-da-da. Now he's averaging 25 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3.3 assists. He's shooting 46.8% from the field, 35.4% from 3. And part of it is just because he matured as a young man, too. Just saying, man. This guy is 19 games into the second season of his career being written off. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to sit. That's not what I'm saying. Just saying as fans, we can't, we're so quick to want to write everybody off. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Yeah, peace, my name is Robert. Called a few times.
Peace, brother.
That last caller, I don't know. I don't know what he's drinking or smoking or whatever. You are absolutely right about giving players an opportunity. Something you said earlier too that I wanted to touch on. You said we came into this year believing one thing. No, we was bamboozled into believing what we was believing. They told us, "Oh, youth, we going. That's the way we going. We going with the youth and whatnot." Then they get all these players. They picked up 9 players. Now they picked up these 9 players and they put them out there on the court. For one, I think that he needs to change that lineup. This dude need to change that lineup. If he don't change that lineup soon, he's going to be out of a job soon. Julius Randle and what is his name? Morris cannot play together. They like two of the same players. You might well put Trey in there too and let this be an ISO free for all. And you probably do a lot better. Now, what I have to say about in Kevin Knox's defense is he went from starting to going to the bench, and each game his minutes decreased.
Mm-hmm.
How you expect a player to play at any good kind of level if you take his minutes away?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I agree with what you're saying, right? I agree with what you're saying, but at some point with a player, in order to send a message, the best way to send a message is the playing time. That's the best way to send a message. But I agree. You gotta let him. Let's see what happens if he gives him 1, 2, 3 DNPs, and then he gets him back out there on the floor. Then, I'm cool with that because, like I said, you got to teach him a lesson. And you teach him a lesson. Okay, you're not going to defend. Well, this is what happens when you don't defend. Now you got to earn your way back. You got to earn your minutes back. You start earning them back in practice. I see you doing it in practice, and I can put you out there on the floor. So I agree. So I agree with you that yes, they have to play, but I also understand that one of the best ways, one of the best teachers in basketball is playing time, But that's got to go for everybody. Not
That's
just
right.
Kevin Knox.
Another thing that I wanted to touch on, they need to get somebody to work with Mitch. If Mitch get somebody like somebody I forgot what I think I was into your show the other day, and somebody said that they should get Marcus Camby.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good to get Marcus Camby coming in, because Marcus Camby was a shot blocker. He could teach Mitch how to move his feet, how to go straight up. You know what I'm saying? How to not get so many ticky-tack fouls.
And as a matter of fact, Marcus Camby, for me, was the first center that I saw and respected and recognized that played like his style, that style, right? Because up until Marcus Camby, I always known of a center like a Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon type of guy, guys that posted up and that kind of stuff. Marcus Camby, even at, he was at UMass, and when I seen him play, I was like, man, this guy don't post up or nothing, right? So he was the first guy that, for me, that I recognized as a rim runner, you know what I'm saying? And, he kind of, at least for me, he kind of pushed that into the NBA. I don't remember too many other guys before him as a center that was, a rim runner like that, because I was just used to seeing the Patrick Ewings, Hakeem Olajuwons, Bill Cartwrights, David Robinsons, Shaq, those type of guys. And then, Marcus Camby came along. He was a little bit different than those guys. Didn't post up like that. Yeah, so he'd be a good guy to work with David Robinson, on some of those things. But if you want David Robinson to start learning some post moves, then you gotta find somebody else that knows those post moves, because Marcus Camby, he wasn't that guy. But he was a hell of a defender. And he was a rim runner.
He was. But yeah, they got to get back to letting the youth play. They gotta let the young guys play, man. I think it's gonna hurt us if we just let Trea go. I think they need to re-sign Trea, and he could be our sixth man. He can come in with the second unit and whatnot, and put some points up on the board. I don't understand why you're not playing him now. When he was playing, he was giving up some good minutes. He was scoring, putting some points on the board quick that we needed.
Yeah,
he does. Something different got to happen, man.
Nah, I'm with you. And the other day in his press conference, he said that these blowout games it's a good time for Alonzo Trier to get his rhythm and stuff like that. And I'm like, every time he comes in, he scored 10 points in 11 minutes, 13 points in 14 minutes. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah. Hey, my man, I appreciate the call, bro. Thank you for calling.
All right, Sam. Peace to the chat.
Peace to you, my man. Have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel, please. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. And I know doesn't that sound like a canned commercial? Because I've been saying it for so long, I just memorized it. Just subscribe to the channel, people. Just subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so you know when I'm here. All right, check me out on YouTube. You're on YouTube. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Sportscaster, Discord. Check me out on everything. We get back over here to the video chat. These guys probably like, man, he forgot about us and this and that. Whatever, boom, boom, boom. Let me get back to these guys, see what these guys talking about in here. Gammo, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's good, Tim? Hold up, Mark. What's good, Tim?
All right, so we play. Who we play next? We play Boston next. We looking at another loss?
Probably because that team is they lost to Brooklyn Nets tonight, 112-107. But that team is clicking a lot better with Kemba at the helm, man. That means that, and also I think they stopped getting your boy Jason Tatum to stop going to Kobe, because remember he threw this Kobe last year, started chucking shots. So the more synergy those guys get, and as talented as their backcourt is, the more synergy and chemistry they get, the more dangers are. So I don't see us being this team, man, because we didn't have an answer for them on opening day. We didn't have an answer for them the last time we played them. I think it was in the Garden. So yeah, I don't think we have an answer for them, man. I mean, look, the Knicks. I agree. The Knicks, we just don't have the talent to overcome some of our systematic deficiencies. So yeah, they're gonna kill us, man. I would love to see if Randall comes around on a pick and roll defense this time, unlike the opening night where they just killed us with the pick and roll in the second half. But I want to see what Fizzo does in terms of adjustments, man, because I have a feeling the Knicks are gonna come out. We're gonna lead by like 11, as we always do, 11-12. That lead's going to go away. How do we adjust? And how do these players adjust? They start going into ISO. Does Fizzo do anything system-wise differently to get easier shots, to not make it go to ISO where they can just hone in on us? And they don't have a good front court like that. So I want to see how we attack their front court, man.
But look, the longer and longer we go with doing what we do, the thing is this. We see glimpses of it, right? How does he get them to extend those glimpses? How does he get them to make it go longer and longer and longer until it's finally a full game that
you brought up a good point, right, Sim? You said that whenever certain guys are on the court, like you saw tonight, the Sixers, they'll have Tobias and or Embiid and or Simmons, right? There's certain guys that on this team that are selfless, right? You know, Taj Gibson's a selfless player. I know he can't play 40 minutes a night, 39 minutes, 35 minutes a night. Frank is a selfless guy. RJ Barrett, those are guys that they're selfless in a sense of, and Frank to a fault, but they're sensitive in the fact that they will push the ball around. Dotson, they're going to push the ball around and get guys involved because they believe more in the system. They know that when you have a strong system, it's better than just having strong individual players. I know, yes, you have superstars like Kawhi. I'm not saying that doesn't matter, but they understand the system could be more effective, especially when you don't have those players, right? You got to keep either Dotson, you got to keep those guys on the court, because you keep guys like Randall, you keep guys like Portis. Those guys are anti that, right? You know, Randall much more, even Morris. So you have to keep at least two guys, whether it's in your back or your front court. Guys are going to keep that system going where you can scream on them on the court. You can talk to them, come out of a timeout, and they'll do it because he for some reason he's scared of Randall. So Randall Morris. So you got to keep those guys on the court to kind of reiterate, to communicate on defense, to kind of keep that going. Hey, slow down. These guys are making a comeback. They've gone on an 8-0 run. Let's slow it down. Long shots are not going to help us. Let's try to force the shot, get close to the shot clock and force shots. Maybe get the rebound. Now we have another possession. Now time is going off. They're kind of coming off their little high or the little buzz or whatever they have for the little 8-0 run, 12-5 run or whatever it is. Let's try. That's how you defeat certain teams. That's how you kind of weather the storm when guys are making runs. On our team, you have guys where literally a team is making a 15-0 run and we only have like a 3-point lead, and they're coming out jacking a shot up, and it's 20 seconds left, or it's 18 seconds left on the clock. That's stupid basketball. You need guys that, whether it's on your bench, whether it's the Taj Gibsons, the Dotsons, the Franks, to kind of just play smart basketball, to kind of offset, hey, we're down right now, stuff like that. So I don't know if we're going to do it against Celtics because they just have a better squad, better coaching, better system, everything than us. But that's one way you combat it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess he's going to have to continue to, pounding them to do the right things. And like, this is what I want to see him do.
Uh-huh.
If you notice tonight's game against Philadelphia, the first 2 minutes of the game, Philadelphia called a timeout. Why they call a timeout? Because they were doing things that defensively that they didn't want to happen. So he needed to call a timeout and say, hey, we're not going to start this right now. This is what we need to do. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I want to see from Coach Fizdale too, right? When he sees it happening, I don't care if you still got the lead by 10, if you still got the lead by 15, you see it happen once, you call a quick timeout and say, hey, Don't let this start happening. This is what we need to do. Let's not get into this one-on-one type of thing. You know, let's keep moving the ball. Let's keep doing this. Nip it at the bud as soon as you see it.
So how do you
because
do that?
what
So
I
do
see
you just,
from
do
him
you
sometimes
take out Randall
is
and Morris? Do you sit those guys?
What'd you say?
Do you sit those guys like unless Randall or Morris having a top? Do you ever see Fizdale sitting those guys? Because like you said, I've seen it where Morris, I've seen it where Randall come in and they help initiate or they help the other team get those runs because they're making stupid decisions that leads to turnover. So do you foresee? I know you would probably sit them because you're a real coach, but do you foresee Fizdale sitting those guys in the near future if they mess it up? If they mess up where we lose a 12-point lead because those guys are trying to force shots and play hero ball?
No, I don't foresee him sitting him. No, I don't.
All right, well,
I don't see it happening.
That's the only way you win, man. That's because again, I've seen it tonight. You know, guys like RJ. I'm watching RJ play him. Look, we could say, oh, he's not shooting well here, but one thing about RJ, the majority of his plays are smart, heady plays. Guys, same thing with Frank. I know Frank. I want Frank to be more aggressive. I agree with everybody who's saying Frank has to be more aggressive. I agree 1,000%. But Frank doesn't do things that are selfish. I mean, I can't really use him. He's not a good example. But even other guys, I see Dotson, even when Dotson makes mistakes, is never outside of the realm of his game. But then you have a guy like Fizdale sit there and say, and they mentioned it today on the broadcast. They're like that Mike Breen was saying it, like he kind of sounded confused, like he was just trying to make sense of it, like guys gotta, trust the other guy. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense that these guys have to do this, and that if they're doing the right thing, and then they have to trust that. No, talk to those players who are messing up. I know we saw the timeout where he was so-called talking to Morris, but I'll even go to Morris behind the scenes and say, hey, look, we know we trading you, right? But it's like the Army. I gotta scream at the guy coming in, who's the strongest dude, who's coming in, but I gotta break him down so the rest of the cadets follow me. And if I'm screaming at you, if I'm getting at you, it ain't that I'm trying to fight you, whatever, even though you shouldn't have to say as a coach. But I would just say, hey, look, I'm just doing this so I get these younger dudes. You're not going to be here long term.
Right.
But I'm trying to be here long term. I would just talk to him, say, hey, look, so when I scream on you and I bark on you, it's all love, but just, go with it. Don't sit there and try to fight me. Just go with it. I'm trying to get these other young cats to follow a certain system so that when you leave, then we actually have, so now they follow me. They see me as I don't know if he's doing that behind the scenes, but I don't think he's doing it.
But look, I wouldn't even, if it were me, I wouldn't even say, hey, this is what I'm doing this. I would just say, listen, you got the respect of the team. You're the leader. So I'm going to be coming down on you harder than anybody else.
Right.
And I would just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to tell you one more thing.
I know you're gonna say. Go ahead, say it.
What am I gonna say?
I know you're gonna say Melo. Just go ahead and say it.
Yeah. You already knew. You already know. Melo had 23 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 for 16 from the field. He's been killing. Come on, man. Don't front.
Too good. Melo had a 9 for 11 game the other night. Hey, everybody, clap it up for Melo, man.
Give it up. That's right. Back. Clap it up for Melo. That's right. Give it up for him.
Melo's about to win a championship, guys. Let's all
give it up for Melo. Give it up for Melo. He's doing his thing.
When Melo comes out, he starts chucking. He shoots 5 for 25. Give it up for Melo. Give it up for Melo, man.
I mean, he ain't shooting that many shots, but anyway, give it up for Melo. Give it up to him. Give it up to him.
He's saying something deep. I knew he was going to talk about Melo. I was just waiting because I saw when Melo went 9 for 11. The other night, Sim didn't say nothing to you. He didn't text me or nothing. And I saw Melo's having a good. I think he's having a good game tonight too. I saw he had a highlight where he made a little ugly assist in a fast break. He like jumped and passed it real quick. Look, I ain't hating on Melo. God bless him. I'm happy he's doing
Melo
it.
Can still
That's
ball.
Melo
can still ball. That's all I gotta say.
He can still ball. And when the Blazers lose in the first round of playoffs, and Melo goes 7 for 30. He can still ball. Just remember that.
Melo can still. Hey, he's gonna have bad games. You know he's gonna have bad games. Everybody's gonna have a bad game. But just come on, give it up to him. Don't give it up to him.
No. I'm gonna give
everybody want to write him off. He's no good no more. He can't play basketball no more. Come on, man.
Look, Sim, you gotta take it this way too. It's taken him how many teams, right, to realize he had to change his game around? Because now he's shooting off the pass. He's not doing the dribble step. Sometimes but He has to find, and it took him how many teams to do that? If you've never done it before, I can't give you the benefit of the doubt. If you played a certain way your whole life, I can't give you the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, you're going to change when you're 33, 34.
Wait a minute.
And you've been playing one way your whole life. I can't. Until I see it. And
it takes everybody has their own journey.
Oh, my Lord.
Right? Come on now. Don't say that they don't. Everybody
has. Is this guy about to give me
Malcolm X had to go to prison before he figured out this ain't working for me.
wait. Right? Who'd you say had to go to prison?
Malcolm X. Before he figured out this ain't working for me. Right? Everybody got their own journey. Everybody has their own journey.
Mellow X. We're comparing Mellow X. Oh, my gosh. This dude.
I'm just saying. Everybody got their own journey, man.
Just compare Melo to Malcolm X on his journey. So Melo's journey was what? He had to come out the league. He had to have somebody talk about his wife tastes like Cheerios. He had to see his wife on Power.
He needed a moment of clarity. He needed a moment of clarity.
The Knicks didn't help him out.
Maybe he needed a moment of clarity. Maybe. He still has a long time to go for the rest of the season. But maybe he needed a moment of clarity.
The Rockets, I guess the Rockets were last team.
Yeah, but the Rockets did him dirty.
He needed all this. When he was on that beach trip, when they took the photo of him on the beach and he was the only dude wearing a shirt, you telling me that didn't send you a message that, bro, you need to change your life. Because everybody's passing you by, man. Everybody's getting championships. All your friends, except for Chris Paul,
is everyone has their own journey.
He's on the beach with a shirt on. How you on the beach with?
Everyone has their own journey.
Come on, son.
Everyone has their own journey. Maybe he got it this time. Maybe he gets it. It could be a honeymoon period. We'll see.
Honestly, Sim, I'm happy for Melo. If Melo kills on the Blazers, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's doing well. I don't like to see anybody, unless you're real psycho or you're psychotic or something like that. I'm happy that Melo's doing well on the team. I hope he keeps it up. I hope he changes for long term and realize, hey, this is a wake up call. Maybe you only have 2 or 3 more years left in the league, but if you can do this, you can be serviceable. Because everybody saw it but him. So I'm happy that if this journey is changing, I am happy that he's changing.
Hope so. We're gonna find out. All right, let me get around to the rest of these guys. I want to find out about. What if Mark got the X up? What he doing? Xavier McDaniels now? Andrew, man. Andrew TV, what's good, man? Boston, Sunday, Boston. What's up? What are we going to do?
Yeah, what's up, Tim?
What are we going to do?
Oh, man, I hope for the best, man. I hope we could get a W, but the way the team is playing, man, it's just you don't know. I'm saying where the team is playing, like, I hope David Fitz, he got the film.
Hey, he's breaking up on me, man. He's breaking up on me. Try to get back in. You're breaking up on me. Savvy?
What's up,
Boston.
Sam? How you doing?
What we gonna do, bro? What we gonna do?
Celtics, man. Celtics. Well, we need Frank to show out against Kemba. We know it's not an unfamiliar territory. You feel me? So hopefully Frank can get busy defensively against Kemba. We gotta stop Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum is the kind of player who carries steam with him from game to game. You feel me? Like, on an ego level. Like, since he's the guy that sealed the deal last time against us, he's exactly the kind of personality that would come back in this time and come show out against us, like, throughout the entire game and not just at the end. So we need to keep an eye on that. I need for us to exist in the third quarter. Just be there. You feel me? I don't need you to do great. You don't have to drop 20. You don't have to outscore them. Even, just don't disappear in the third quarter. Like, how do we forget to ball in the third quarter again and again? They say it's the coaching quarter.
Yeah, it is. It is. That third quarter is so important because out of halftime, your coaches, you come back with adjustments. And you see those adjustments take place in that third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams make adjustments. At least you think both teams are making adjustments.
Right.
And a lot of times, those adjustments are what wins you the game. You know what I'm saying? Your team makes an adjustment, and then that adjustment works or it doesn't work. Or the other team, after they make an adjustment, is able to come back and make another adjustment. Yeah, that's why that third quarter is definitely so important.
And this is my thing, right? There's nobody who can be absolved of blame when it comes to these losses. Everybody has their own fair share, right? Like Frank Ntilikina showed us the aggression that we've been wanting, but okay, now that we have raised our expectations of him, rightfully so, we can hold him accountable for shooting out a low clip. Okay. And not only that, but to enter the third quarter, we had our starters out there, and we go out there and we miss like the first 3 or 4 attempts. I believe it was either Marcus. No, it was either RJ or Frank that scored the first basket in the third quarter. And then I know that Frank came in and dropped it 2 early on, but we just couldn't take the lid off for a while there. And I'm like, why are the guys who were eating in the first half suddenly having trouble hitting open shots? Like, that's something that, okay, there's adjustments. There's guys who's suddenly up in your grill when you was losing them before. But when you get an open look and you just can't hit it,
yeah,
that's right here.
And part of it is, when a team picks up their defense, you start to rush shot a little bit because they picked up their defense. The other team is closing out. Then, of course, they make some adjustments and they do some things that, now you're thinking a little bit more about what they're doing. Those things happen.
Guillermo said earlier that we were taking shots while we still had the lead too early in the shot clock, and I'll do him one better. When we were taking those shots, we were in such a rush to take those shots that we weren't even setting our feet before we let the shots off.
Yeah,
especially Wayne Ellington.
Right.
So,
don't even talk about Wayne Ellington. Man. I don't even want to talk about Wayne Ellington. I don't even want to talk about Wayne, man.
There's a lot of ways that we beat ourselves. We got to do something about that right there.
I don't even want to talk about Wayne. I might have to go back and find those videos and erase them and delete them or something. Mark, what we going to do tomorrow, man?
Listen, Sam.
Yo.
It's like, if people don't follow me on Twitter, I think y'all should follow me on Twitter because, when you watch these Knicks games, I was happy.
Oh, I follow you on Twitter. You be screaming every time you tweet.
Yo, Sim, it is that frustrating watching because I'm calling out stuff, and it was one play. It was when we got into the second half, and I'm watching how it was tied up 66-69. I just said from right there and then, you could go back and look on my tweet. We're gonna lose. Because everything just shifted and I just felt it. And it's like, it's so stressful watching this team because it's like your spirits is up. You're like, yeah, we get this. Just keep doing what we doing. Keep doing what we doing. And then
you already know what's going to happen.
When we get into these games, man, and just lose the way we lose, it's just like, if you feel like you get cheated on every time. It's like, this is stronger than heroin, cocaine, man. We keep coming back.
No, you're right about that.
I don't know what it is, Sim. I don't know what it is. We keep coming back. It's like every time we lose him, it is the same way every game. It's mind-boggling. And it's like, I'm rooting. It's just like, y'all tear me down in the wrong way possible, man. Because it's like I'm telling myself, I'm about to give up this team, man. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I seen you said that today. You said if they don't draft, I forgot who you said. That's it. I was like, what is Mike talking about?
Sam, if the Knicks, I'm telling everyone right now, this will save us. If we do not draft this Anthony Edwards kid, I swear to God, I'm out because I think he would change our franchise and he will plug in what we're missing as a player. And that could, and the thing too, to pair him and RJ on the wing, oh, that would be the dream because they both could defend. But other than that, the Celtics, listen, this Tatum dude is really becoming. He's becoming a fourth quarter closer, man. This kid is really, really good. And they defense and they discipline. They got back Kanter, the rebound machine. And just Marcus Smart. As long as he's on the court, man, he causes terror. And they just, man, can we just win one game? Just one.
Hey, Mark, let me tell you. You know who we playing coming up next. And we might not see a win till either, I don't even know if we're going to beat Portland. Probably not going to beat Portland. Well, we're not going to beat Portland. Until right. Not with Melo X on the team. Not with Melo X on the team. We not beating Portland. And then Golden State. I'm even scared about Golden State. I'm not going to lie. And I know they are straight up trash, but I'm scared of them.
Yeah, with Melo, it's not like they need him. Like I watched Portland today. Like they need each other. It's not like Melo is like not like important. He's important to what they're doing right now. He's important to what they're doing right now. So for people to really say he can't play basketball, that was just really appalling. It's really appalling. It's really appalling.
Yeah, it was. It was. People really was front on that man hard.
Because I'm still watching him. He's still duping cats with the same move. He's still duping cats with the same move. The dude could shoot.
Yeah, man.
He's like, listen, the dude is not afraid to play. One thing about Melo, why I always thought I seen greatness out of him, because when he played against the higher levels, even if that player was better than him, it did not seem like it. He played up to par. Like he played up to the level that your superstar need to play with. And I tell you, confidence will you throughout this league, man. And that's why, like I said, when he left Houston, I think when he left Houston and OKC, those were scapegoat teams because they knew that the way Russell Westbrook and Paul George played, it was easy to blame Melo. And when Houston was losing early games like they did this season, if y'all look in the beginning games, they wasn't so good in the beginning, and they started winning games. So they used Melo as a scapegoat. So all that news that I try to do Melo like that, it was really unnecessary, bro. You got to just say, he's not for this team. He don't fit in this team. But don't make it like he's the complete reason.
They did him dirty, man. They did him dirty.
They did him dirty, man.
They did him real dirty.
And
but I'm glad he found a home, man, and hopefully it works out for him. They're not gonna win a championship, but hopefully it works out for him.
He gotta protect his name. Well, he can't just be quiet while these organizations and media talking down on him. That's why he came on First Take, because people was talking for him. He wasn't even talking. And people was talking for him.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Come on.
And me and Guillermo had a big argument about the First Take thing, too.
Man, Guillermo just don't like how Melo plays.
And Guillermo was wrong.
Guillermo just don't like how Melo plays. That's okay.
All right, let me get to Isaiah, man. I'm about to sign off. Isaiah, coming to you, man.
Hey, X.
That's right, Melo X. That's his name for us. That's Melo's NBK name, Melo X. Without a doubt.
Go ahead, now? Man. That's what he is. He's Muslim now?
Huh?
Hey,
I think Melo been 5% for a long time anyway, but that's beyond the point. Go ahead.
You know what, Sam? You know the season's already gone. Can we just me, Guillermo versus you and Mark about this Melo? Because y'all just
talk to me about the Celtics, man. You jumping in the convo late now.
Man, listen, Sam. You know what, Sam? Can I say this one thing, though, man? It's kind of sad that our season's already over and it was a day after Thanksgiving. Like, minus this last year, at least we were decent in December, and we can't even get past Thanksgiving without the season being over.
We're not getting past these next 4 or 5 games, so. Telling you, we're 4-15. We're probably gonna be like 4-19, and yeah. But
yeah, but against the Celtics, man, I mean, I don't even know anymore, Sim. It's just so draining, man. We're gonna get out coached by Brad Stevens. They have Jason Tatum, who's becoming just, without Kyrie, he's a superstar, in my opinion. Kemba Walker. Is Kemba Walker playing, or is he still injured? Is he?
I'm not sure. I haven't really checked it out yet.
Yeah. Kemba Walker's there. They're just gonna shoot. Carson Edwards probably gonna go for 30 against us because we just can't guard the three. Yeah, man. I'm honestly, Sim. I'm expecting a blowout. I don't think the Knicks do this all the time, Sim. The Knicks played hard tonight, played close, and then they're just gonna drop the ball and play loosey goosey.
Well, actually, that's what I expect. That's what I expect the Knicks to do Sunday against the Celtics. I expect us to probably play hard, build a lead, and then lose the game. Now, it is an afternoon game. It's a 3:30 game.
Oh, we are terrible afternoon. We stink.
You don't know what happens there. Yeah. But anyway, Isaiah, I'm out, man.
Hey, man, shout out to you, Sim. Shout out to Mark, Savy, Guillermo, the whole MBK chat, y'all family. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, man. It's almost Christmas, man. Almost a new year. Yeah, man. Let's keep it going. I'm not the McDonald's manager, so don't start doing that.
Yeah, you look like him. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me give a big shout out to Nick Gay. Thank you for the super chat, man. You asked, or you said, you made the comment, Fizz has PTSD after the Gasol thing. He might, and that might be the reason why he's afraid to address some of these, some of your so-called star players or the highest paid players on the team, your main players, Julius Randle, Marcus Morris, those guys. You know what I'm saying? And it could be. That's not a good thing, though. You know what I mean? It's not a good thing. But anyway, the Knicks lose again tonight. They lost their 5th straight. They play Boston on Sunday at 3:30. See what we're going to do there. Look for a notification letting you know that I'll be doing the game preview. I'll have a game preview tomorrow. I'm going to do a game preview. So look for that notification. Up until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I ain't about to go watch The Irishman or something. All right. And I'm out, man. Peace.
That's the G.